What is going down, TCB fans?
Yo, what is
What's up, guys?
Oh, it's hella blurry, huh? What is up? You guys see in our camera, it's a little bit blurry. Hold on.
Yeah. Remember, this is our first time doing this, so we are just getting the camera figured out here. Yeah. Hopefully, is it one of those auto? Oh. No, still like that. Keep going back. To our one viewer out there, welcome. Still blurry. Give us 1 second, folks.
Drop the light.
All right, cool. So move it towards you a little bit. Rotate towards you.
Money.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop.
We're getting relaxed.
All right. We are back live. What's up, everybody? This is the
What's
Comic
up?
Bookies podcast.
Instagram Live. What's up, guys?
So this is like the first time that we've actually done this live. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. Come say hi. Ask us a question. This is just like a kind of a celebratory episode. We're here, dude.
100 episodes, guys. How do you
Episode
feel?
100. Big time, man. It's been about a year and a half, 2 years of doing it. Colliding the world of sports and comics. That's what we do here at the Comic Bookies. Excited, man. Good times.
Yeah, so if you have a drink, guys, I know we have a couple beers here. The great from the US of A, Bud Light. Let's crack it open. Let's get this going.
Hey, we got more than Bud Light, though, right here, Mike. I see some Blue Label.
Cheers, guys. Cheers to 100 to infinity and beyond. TCB fans, thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
And thank you, everybody that has been part of our journey, including Treasure Island Comics. Thank you, Alex, if you are watching this. Thank you, all the writers and everybody that we have had on as guests. Douglas, Frank the Writer, Frank Gogol, Source Point Press, all of these small publishers, all of these big publishers. We just appreciate everybody that's been able to get us to this point. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love all of you, man. We're just here to try to start something new for you guys, try to give the fans a little different vibe for you guys to, check us out to. But we let us know what you like in the comments. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about tonight. We're going to kind of wing it. We kind of got somewhat of a platform, but this is really for you guys, for the fans, to celebrate our 100th episode, man. Thank you, brothers, for for doing this, bringing it all together here in the TCB studios, and it's going to be a fun one, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got, sports, of course. We got the Super Bowl of NFL, the Super Bowl of racing coming up tomorrow, man. Let us know. Mike, Sean, man, how was your guys' day? How did you guys sleep even setting up to all this, man? It was hard for me to sleep last night, I'll tell you that.
I mean, yeah, I was getting nervous. I wasn't really nervous waking up. But I knew that, a couple weeks ago we got together to do this, to kind of like give ourselves some practice runs, make sure all of the, mics were set up correctly, all of the cameras were set up correctly, and now we have the lights up and everything. It looks like a legit thing, and I was nervous at I want to say 3 p.m. leading up to doing this, and then once now go live, I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's funny, though, because I think about what we used to do even before the Comic Bookies podcast, just being a couple guys, we drink a little bit. We talk sports, we talk entertainment, and we ended up making a podcast out of it. And kind of alluding real quick to what the Mark said, thank you to our wives especially, kind of our number ones, Marissa, Patty, and Danielle, of course. You guys have been a biggest support for us. But just doing what we do, man. And now, we're on episode 100. This is something we just have fun with. We get together every week. Mike living in Tracy, I'm in Hayward, Mark in Newark. We're actually at his house right now. Beautiful room. What's up? So, yeah, man, again, it's just, some guys who just like to talk sports, talk comics. You got me into comics, Mark into comics, and now we love it.
Sir.
We talk entertainment. I mean, as we speak, man, we got the Warrior game on. I hope you guys are, watching that in the background. We had the Super Bowl, what Mike said.
What's the score, Sean? What's the score on that?
I got it up right now, bro. I got the Warrior game. We're unfortunately down 62. Actually 65-49, but we got the whole second half, so we are live on our news. But again, thank you everyone who's going to take the time to listen to us now. later. We're going to be on for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So, yeah, definitely tune in and have fun with this, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much to all of the people on IG, on Instagram, tuning in right now. Send us over a question, a comment, whatever, and we'll get into it. We have like a light format tonight. We're going to hopefully get into the Super Bowl. Tomorrow's Daytona 500. The NASCAR season is starting tomorrow. Of course, we're already talking about NBA, and then we have some books to get into like we do every single week. We're going to preview what came out on Wednesday, a couple books that we recommend for everyone who's getting into comics to tune into and to actually get into. And then some entertainment. Me and Sean have been talking WandaVision the last 4 or 5 weeks, so of course we have to talk about episode 5, episode 6. So plenty to get into, but please shout us out, send us over your questions, and we'll get into and we'll discuss.
Speaking of shout outs, I got 2 or 3 if you guys don't mind if I get them out the way real quick. It is the dating anniversary tomorrow of me and my wife Marissa, so tomorrow is going to be our anniversary. Also to my in-laws, John and May. And also happy birthday today to my brother Sergio out in Seattle. Love you, brother.
Nice. Happy birthday and happy anniversary, dude. Nice.
It's not the wedding anniversary yet.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, dudes.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary, guys. For our sports fans out there, let's not forget Usman and Burns tonight. I don't know if we're still going to be live at that point. If you guys can keep us entertained, we might keep going on for hours. But let's see what this guy, Usman, we saw what he did to Masvidal last time. But everybody that's tuning into UFC 258, let us know how your guys' night is going as well.
Yeah, thank you to Bobby, Matt. Thank you so much. Appreciate the love and support you guys give us. So let's do it,
Missouri.
fellas. So,
Rock and roll, baby.
So, screw sports first. I want to kind of reflect on 99.001 episodes. You know what I'm saying? It's been a ride, bro. We were practicing and talking about this since November, December of 2018. How cool it would be.
Yeah.
And also it got some legs to it. We started buying mics. We started watching YouTube videos on how to edit and how to do this, and that. And then we're like, you know what? I don't, do we, what do we talk about? What's the format? And then sure enough, I told you guys I went back and I listened to episode 1, and we hardly talked books because I think, you guys were borrowing my books, or it was just barely at the beginning of your guys' fandom of comic books. But it has turned into, and it has, oh man, it's been so much fun. 99 episodes, 2 years next month.
Well, it's definitely always been good energy and good vibes, that's for sure. And I think alluding to what Mike just said in the beginning, our first episode was a whole baseball, let's talk about baseball and review it. Mm-hmm. And I think we'd be the first to say that, we were a little bit rocky back then. But again, that's how it starts, and kind of just figuring out our identity. Even in the beginning, it was sports and books, and now we talk movies, entertainment. See, at the end of the day, we're just a couple guys who just want to talk about all the main stuff going on, to have our fans interact with us. And seeing where we're at now, we are on episode 100, and it's crazy. It happened just like that, Yep. So, what we're doing now, it's something that we just do for fun. I think for the first 5 seconds, we were probably all maybe a little nervous. Now we're live again on YouTube, on Instagram Live, on my personal page, on the TCB page. But now it's just a couple of guys, again, just kicking it, having a couple of drinks, talking sports, and it's normal now.
Yep.
And dude, honestly, I'll even be the first one to say, when we first thought about this whole platform, guys, brothers, it's when Mike was really into comics, like you guys mentioned, and myself, obviously, I read them when I was younger. I'm into, obviously the movies and whatnot, but we're all big on sports. But for us to actually, Sean and me personally, to kind of just pick up not only what Mike has been reading and what the popular, comic books are in the Batmans and Marvels and whatnot, but for us to actually be able to venture out and be able to talk about these smaller publishers and get all these smaller writers on, and just because some of these stories, like we always say, guys, they're great, just like Tom Brady's story last weekend was great as well.
Mike won a lot of money.
You know what? The story of what happened on Wednesday of him drinking, that's a way better story than him winning the game. We'll get into that.
Did you see the meme, Tom Brady in New England and Tom Brady in Florida? Florida's just killing it right now as a state. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just so glad that I have opened my horizons as a person, as a co-host, as a father, a husband, son, everything. This comic, this podcast in general has really helped me just become a better person, and stay committed to a schedule with my brothers every week, and try to really, they say what the average podcast lasts 7-8 episodes. Man, we just made it to 100, guys. That's something to be proud of. So thank you guys that have stuck with us, like I mentioned before. But it's a wild ride. I can't believe that we're doing this. I'm just looking into my atmosphere right now with my brothers.
I know, dude.
It's awesome, dude. It's really awesome,
It's dope,
dude.
bro.
So,
It's good.
Thank you.
I feel like I just came from like hair and makeup, like I'm on the set of like some TV or movie. But yeah, so everyone on IG, everyone on YouTube right now, please, if you can, go and share like the link to this, the link to our YouTube, our live YouTube feed on your Twitters, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, however you can do that. Please, get people to come over here and check us out for real, because it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good hour and a half, 2 hours. So let's get into it, fellas. Let's get into the sports. So Super Bowl, of course, we have to talk about that first winner of a home,
hosting.
the first time hosting, and they actually take care of business. You can throw out whatever excuses you want to throw out there. The beginning of the game, kind of the refs. People are saying the refs threw the game kind of off with a lot of early flags. The left and right tackles not being there. Mahomes is running for his life. People kind of felt bad for him, but at the end of the day, man, that defensive line, that they won the battle in the trenches right there. That was going to be one of the key battles, and they absolutely handled business. And Tom Brady was Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, like he always is. I have no idea why me and you bet against Tom Brady. I always do it. I always want to because a little bit of Raider fan inside me, wants him not to do well. But man, he freaking killed it.
Well, I think before I get into my spiel, I got to definitely congratulate Mark, because he did pick the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl, which they did
From like the beginning too.
From the beginning. So obviously, I had to congratulate him, for that, get that out of the way. Won some people money. My wife, I know Marissa, John, father-in-law again. You guys won money, and me and Mike were the suckers. We thought, hey, Mahomes, the next big thing, which he is the next big thing. And man, I was wrong completely. If you guys listen to 99, I was sold on the Chiefs, and if they played again, I would somehow probably still be sold on the Chiefs. They're still one of those teams that I think are just skillful beyond. They're probably the team to watch for the next 5 to 7 years, or as long as Mahomes is there. But I've never seen a team make Mahomes look so uncomfortable, and they didn't really blitz much. That front seven, there wasn't really much of a run game. I think Mahomes was scrambling like 40% of the time, and it was just an ass whooping. I mean, let's be honest. It was just a whooping, and yeah, it's one of those games that, you got Brady on the team. The confidence is up with the team, and they just, you can't really say much. They just killed them, straight up. So, hey, congratulations to Tampa, the hosting city. Brady, you know what? It took one more Super Bowl for me to say it, but you are the GOAT, man. 7 Super Bowls to do what you've done in the ultimate team sport. You're a beast, bro. And Gronk, Antonio Brown, Mike's favorite player. You name it,
Killed it.
Congratulations, Tampa.
And honestly, if you guys think about it, not only did they put a whooping on it, I think this is the first time that Mahomes never even completed a touchdown pass.
Touchdown pass, yeah. That was actually... Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't think... I kind of did like the under, but not in the means of Mahomes only scoring 9 points, right?
They actually had a prop for that. It was plus 2,300 that there would be no touchdown pass by Mahomes. And it's so funny that my Uncle Greg and I were talking about that, like, whoever takes that's going to be a sucker. Of course Mahomes is going to throw a touchdown. Halfway through the fourth, we're looking at each other like, what the freak? Like, this guy might not throw a touchdown today.
And like I mentioned, guys, not only, he didn't just not throw a touchdown, but who would have thought that Tampa Bay's defense probably would have stepped up this? We knew their defense was decent, right? They had their ups and their downs and throughout the season, but for them to show up like they did, and this is why I just completely love Tampa Bay at home. The writing was on the wall for, I just can't believe I didn't drop the house on this game, guys.
Make that trip to Reno.
I did not take that trip to Reno. I played it on the offshore. And it is what it is, but man, I knew it was set up too easy. It was just prime for Tom Brady to pretty much, get this one, get this ring. So, Tom Brady now, he has more rings than JPP has fingers. So
you like that meme?
So hey, JPP, they're on the same team now, and he got 2 rings over him in the past with the Giants, but they're all floating on the same ship now, enjoying the same ring as well as they were over there in Tampa Bay earlier in the week.
Yeah, dude, that was. What do you think about him throwing the trophy? Dude, that if it would landed in the river, that would have sunk.
That might have been the only incompletion he had, but he completed that too. Only Brady, right?
Oh, my God, that was crazy. And then just to see how real, like, people
you liked it.
People see him as like a god, and just to see him like down here on the same level as us, like a 43-year-old dad of 3. Just he absolutely has like 0 alcoholic beverages,
sipping on the tequila,
whatever, some avocado tequila as he said or whatever. But dude, it was pretty funny to see him coming up the dock and stuff.
43. Think about that.
43, bro.
I mean, he's outdating us by a couple almost 10 years, and the dude is just still doing it. He looks like he's having fun. It feels like a new Tom Brady to me. And I mentioned it to you guys during the week, man. I didn't like Tom Brady as much, but the new Tampa Bay Tom Brady, I mean, this guy.
Big respect, man.
I got to respect him, man. I've always somewhat respect to him, guys, because he is Bay Area bred over there in San Mateo, about 20 minutes from where we reside and where we grew up, guys. So I always had that type of respect for him. And, if he wasn't in the AFC and did what he did to our Raiders, in the game, in the snow, in the tuck rule game, I mean, that's where all the hatred come from. But at one point, we're getting older. I'm approaching my age as well. So at some point, you just kind of got to give the damn man his respect, right? He wins, man. Don't matter what team he's on. Don't matter what teammates he got. The dude just wins, man. So, big props up to TB12, man.
Yeah, Bill Belichick did not get his wish because the strength of his legacy goes down. It decreases every single time that, he wins something, man. It's, you always say that people were always calling him a system quarterback. Like if he wasn't in New England, then he wouldn't be as good. And then you had 3 guys.
You shut that down.
You had 3 guys come in as free agents or whatever. I think they're all 3 free agents. Cool. Gronk, AB, and Fournette. Were they all 3 free agents?
All free agents.
And all 3 of them scored their 4 touchdowns. Amazing.
And I was just going to say that about Fournette. 16 carries, 89 yards, almost 100 yards. Who would have thought
got the run game going?
Who would have thought that this guy, would have been the workhorse, right? LSU, another SEC-bred player, comes over from Jacksonville where, he's not being loved and show the respect. But, man, when you go over to play with Tom, man, Tom and Arians, they really just turned that team around, dude. It's just – it's crazy to see. It really is. The first, I mean, we say, oh, Tom this, but if you could have had a chance to have him on the Raiders, Mike, I mean, dude, if he can get the Raiders to the
we'd all take
I don't know with that defense.
At this point, screw it.
At this point, screw it.
Well, it's crazy, Mark. You got to think about the NFC Championship, too. I mean, yes, they didn't have the front 7 that Tampa had, but Green Bay kind of controlled Tom. Tom threw 3 picks. He looked, kind of old in that game. And, I mean, that's kind of, I think, what had us like, what? We might have Tom this year. I think Kansas City might be able to take him. He just turned the switch off. Oh, I'm in the Super Bowl? Oh, I remember what I'm supposed to do here. And, again, he just did what Tom does and, what we've all said. Give him his respect. 7 Super Bowls later, Belichick's kind of like, damn, I wish I didn't get rid of that guy. But that's how it goes. Now we got, next season, are they the favorite? That's the question now.
I mean, they should be the favorites in the NFC,
Yeah,
Who else would be the favorites, Drew Brees took a $24 million pay cut. No, he took a pay cut. He took the league minimum. They restructured his contract.
Well, I heard they're doing that just for, I think, contractual purposes because they actually might still be technically paying him next year because of guaranteed money.
Oh, so he might retire, but then only take the $1 point something million dollars.
So it might be just contract purposes.
Okay, so who else would be the favorite?
It's going to be Bay? It ain't going to be Green
or Tampa Bay?
It's Tampa. It should be.
Yeah, because they did the 2 of the things that we said that were going to be the keys to success for them. So, get the run game going, keep the offense off the field, and then pressure on the quarterback, and that was pretty much easy, especially in the second half. Mahomes looked like he was running for his damn life the whole freaking time. So they did the 2 things that we said were going to be the keys to victory, and they did that 100%. Dude, killed them 31-9. I did not expect that score, and to still hit the under.
And the other thing also is that I think that, in my opinion, you got Mahomes and this team getting back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. They obviously won one, lost one. But in my opinion, guys, I would say that I think that Tom Brady might have kind of knocked the rails off. I think Tom Brady might have knocked the rails off of Mahomes, man. I think that they're going to be good next year, but do I think that Kansas City and Mahomes are going to get back to the Super Bowl again? I don't, guys. I don't. I'll tell you that right now because, to try to make the Super Bowl 3 years in a row.
Hey, Buffalo did it.
Hey, Jim Kelly did it.
Hey, Buffalo did do it.
They lost them all.
They lost them all. But you guys always talk about with the league, with the salary cap and everything, how's it going to be when they got to start paying some of these players?
I'll say this, not to cut you off. Last year they had like $100 in salary, and they somehow gave Mahomes $500 million. Kelsey like $60 million. Got Le'Veon. Don't make it work, bro. They always make the roster work. They always do.
Le'Veon, though, in the Super Bowl.
Oh, Le'Veon's done. We know that. Le'Veon's done. We know that already. Come on now.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's done. I just think that Arians' game, whatever he had to do to pregame and get it figured out, that's what he did, because I didn't see them losing it at home, right? I didn't see them losing this Super Bowl at home, playing 3 games on the road to try to get to the Super Bowl at home. They weren't going to lose it, and they didn't. And Arians had a great game plan, and I got to give a shout out also to my boy Winfield Jr. Saw him playing in the league at Minnesota a couple seasons ago. He was raw as hell. And for him to get a ring his rookie season, I mean, he deserves it. I love to see that dude. He kind of reminds me of my player on the Raiders, Abrams. They're just some hard-hitting backs, and I love to see that dude get his ring. So shout out Winfield Jr. as well.
I mean, he was, and then Devin White, man, he solidified himself just in the playoffs as, I think, one of the best linebackers in the league. That boy's going to be dangerous in the next 5-10 years, dude. Insane. Oh, of course you have to give your Niners a shout.
No, Devin White, big time, bro. Number 45, LSU's finest. That boy's a beast, man. He runs side to side, gets pressure. He made all those tackles. I think the key also was just all those quick passes to Tyreek. They weren't happening. They just, minimized that. A lot of just passes to Kelsey by the time they were so far behind that are kind of just pointless. But no, great Super Bowl overall. I'm very, very happy that we at least had to a degree, a good game. But then again,
it wasn't a good game.
To a degree, I think you have to kind of see, like, you held hope at halftime because technically Kansas City was still 2 scores down. Kansas City was 2 scores down, and you knew that, hey, Kansas City might come back in the second half. They received the ball in the second half, and it didn't happen. But hey, that's how it goes, man. Now off to another offseason, and we see what our teams do. The Niners, the Raiders. Don't know what you guys are fans of team-wise, but we have a lot of Niners and Raider fans right here. Now it's free agents, man. Free agency. We'll see what happens. In the draft, don't forget about that.
Yes, sir. So, again, if you guys are just tuning in, we are the Comic Bookies Podcast. This is our 100th episode live extravaganza. Thank you so much for tuning in on Instagram Live. Thank you so much. On YouTube, thank you so much. And please share the stream. Share, just shout us out, please. And ask us any questions. We'll get to you on the chat, on the IG Live. Please, go ahead.
And if you guys wanted some odds real quick for this upcoming season, guys, because it's a little fun here with the comic bookies, that's what we do. We give a little too early odds, but you guys are right. Kansas City Chiefs 5-1. Tampa Bay coming in at 7-1 to repeat. Guys, remember preseason, pre-flop last year, they were 12-1. So, man,
it's hard to repeat.
It's hard.
Pre-draft, pre-free agency,
Packers 11-1. Sean, San Francisco 49ers, and I'm sure a lot of you fans out there from the comic bookies, 16-1 for your team. Mike, I got to go all the way down here for the Las Vegas Raiders.
It's on the first page.
It's at least on the first page.
Hey, on the first page, baby.
60-1 long shot. Where are my Raider fans? Stand up if you think Derek Carr. If
I'm
he's
just
even
fine in the seat right here. I don't need to stand up.
Is Derek Carr even going to be on the team though? We've been seeing these
reports.
lately,
Yeah,
guys.
he'll be on the team. He'll be on the team. They're not going to get Watson. They're not. Come on. There's nothing. What the hell's wrong with Derek Carr?
Wait, you know what? Let's ask our comic bookie fans for the Raider fans. I'm not sure if we have any Raider fans currently on, but definitely comment. Should you guys try to get Watson? I mean, you guys have some draft capital. Carr's coming off a good year, so it might be appealing with a cheaper contract. Hey, you're hearing it from these Raider fans. Let's not go after him. But then again, you might have some Raider fans that don't want him.
Well, you know what? With Gruden and you don't know what the relationship is between him and Carr, so that could just might as well be what he wants. I don't know, because the relationship between the coach and the quarterback, it seemed like it was so important between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. So maybe John Gruden wants what he wants, So anyways, before we get into NASCAR, before we get into the Daytona 500, I have a special treat for us to celebrate 100 episodes. I have what's left of my Christmas gift, Johnny Walker Blue Label. So fellas, I'm gonna pour a couple fingers for us to celebrate 100 episodes. Get those 2 fingers going.
And listeners, you guys got a chance, to get your guys' drinks too.
Who's drinking?
Oh, you know what? We do have a comment from Aaron. He's actually my wife's sister's boyfriend. Awesome guy. Ron Lightskin. He says actually to do the Russell Wilson trade if that's still a rumor. So who would you guys rather want, Russell Wilson or Mr. Deshaun Watson?
People would argue Watson because he's younger. I would rather do
Experience.
Russell Wilson
Go
in a
with-
heartbeat. He's already been to 2 Super Bowls, and he is, dude, like, what, 10, 12 games into the season? It was no, maybe not that many games, but the first, like, 5 or 6 games, people were like, oh, Russell Wilson for MVP, and then, of course, Aaron Rodgers took off. But no, Russell Wilson, hands down, 100%.
Well, let's grab our drink, guys. All right. A little treat. Thank you, Mike.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, guys.
It definitely deserves a cheers.
Man, this
episodes
to a. I mean,
and
to
beyond.
1,000. Let's put we don't even have a comma between the zeros yet, guys. We gotta put a comma.
We got work
between
to do.
these
We got
damn
work to
zeros,
do.
man.
So cheers, everyone. Thank you
Cheers,
so
guys.
much.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, fellas.
Appreciate it, fans. This is for the rest of the night with you guys. You guys let us know what you want us to talk about. This is for you guys. We do it all for you. You guys.
do the Portuguese thing?
Vá para cima, vá para baixo, vá para o centro e vem para dentro. Let's do it, guys. Thank you for all our bilingual fans out there. We
How
love
smooth
you.
is that?
And not to
Put
mention
some hair on my chest.
not to mention our fans out there, guys, that we got from Mike. Would you tell us?
Oh yeah, we have 2 new countries. So if for those of you who don't know, we've been adding stamps to the passport of
Comic Bookie
countries.
passport.
So we have Canada, we have Peru, we have Guatemala, we have Nicaragua, we have Russia, Finland, Philippines, Malaysia, we have Ireland, Belgium, Germany, and now we have 2 new countries of Denmark and Morocco. So if you 2 fans are tuning in right now, thank you so much for supporting our podcast. I don't know if you just stumbled upon it and you randomly just downloaded the freaking episode, but you know what? I see it on the stats, and we love it. So thank you so much. Like, we are worldwide. We are literally one continent away from being represented in every single continent, of course, besides Antarctica. We just need one of you from Australia to download the podcast, please.
And you know what? If you guys do listen to us, there's a reason for that. We talk literally every sport. Today, while it's probably just be NASCAR, football, maybe a little NBA, kind of whatever we talk about. We talk soccer. I think what we do need to talk is maybe some rugby. That seems pretty Australian, and we get an Australian fan.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Maybe that's what we're missing is some rugby. But other than that, again, we talk golf. We talk everything. So we got to get that passport stamp in Australia.
Don't forget, Team Penske got those supercars out there, those supercar V8s out there that they run.
That NASCAR, baby. Okay.
Well, they also had a good showing today in the Xfinity Series.
Yes,
Is there
they
a
did.
Transfer
Penske?
to Daytona.
If you guys have been tuning in to Speed Weeks down there from Daytona Beach, Florida, ever since the Rolex 24 Hours at Daytona. But, man, we had a great race last night in the trucks. Haley Deegan, if you guys have been paying attention to her in the Monster Energy DGR truck, she didn't fare too well. She's one of our favorites going in. I like to see how she can fare in NASCAR, being a female driver like Danica Patrick when she came into the sport with that whole GoDaddy sponsorship. Obviously, Haley Deegan with her dad, Brian Deegan, that's obviously Metal Militia. You guys know him from back in the day on the dirt bikes and X Games and whatnot. So I'm excited for her. Brad Rhodes won in a Toyota last night. Today, we get Austin Cindric in a Team Penske Ford Mustang. And you guys see here on the hat, Team Penske, baby, Ford.
Well represented. So you have Team
Always
Penske over
represented.
here, and then now you have Team Hendrick Motorsports.
That's
here.
right. That's right, because as you guys know, Kyle Larson has teamed up with Rick Hendrick Motorsports and got the 5 restarted again. We all know that last time the 5 was in the Cup Series was when Casey Kane ran it for the same team. Before that, it was Mark Martin with teammates with Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson. But the 5 is back, guys, with my host driver right here, Mike. He's so happy because he was going to have to pick another driver. He was so close to going with that 99. And the
track house.
And the track house, a Pitbull owned Dale Records. But yes, nonetheless, not to shed light on that, or not to not shed light, but we did see where Daniel Suarez did qualify right in 5th or 6th.
Not bad.
So he didn't even have to go to the last chance qualifier in the dual races. The guy got in on speed. So let's see what Trackhouse 99 and Daniel Suarez has this year. It's going to be fun. I mentioned, guys, there's a lot of parity. I do not see any car or any team that is way better than the other in so far in qualifying and duels and whatnot. So I'm excited for tomorrow, man.
I mean, just imagine for anyone who's not really into NASCAR, this is probably the perfect season to get into it because you have a lot of races, not just 2 like last year, but you have 7 races that are on like road courses. So it's not just going in a circle like everyone might think, going left, make a damn right turn. That's what my dad always says. So he can tune into 7 road courses this year. And then you have Bristol Motor Speedway. They're going to convert it into a dirt track for their first race. So you have a dirt track that's going to be used this year as well. So a lot of new drivers, obviously not new drivers, but new teams. Probably the most popular one is probably Bubba Wallace jumping into the co-owned number 23 it's co-owned by Michael Jordan and current NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin. So it's just a lot to take in, but it's a real fun sport. Me and Sean went to Mark's house. We went here to this house like 4 or 5 years ago for a Daytona 500, and I had a blast. I had a blast, and we finally went to a race or 2 over the next couple of years, and it's just taken off since then. I love it.
What's fun, one of those funny things that usually in any sport that we used to like is kind of at the end of the seasons where the big game is. But in NASCAR, the Super Bowl is pretty much the first race of the season, and from there, it actually doesn't tail off. It kind of just like tails up and so on. So yes, Daytona, it is the biggest race of the year in Florida. And yeah, just no parity because there's so many races. So many good racers coming up this year. Kyle Larson's back, of course, Logano, who Mark likes, Chase Elliott, who I like, and just the different things going on. As Mark said, Pitbull, this guy's going to make his debut as a part owner, I want to say it is.
The number 99.
Again, Michael Jordan, might as well just make some money in NASCAR. He has his own car, which he has Bubba Wallace with now, too. So, yeah, just a lot of things that I think people kind of get, it's just turning left. But there's a lot more into it. I mean, hey, if me and Mike got into it, anyone could get into it. I'm telling you, you guys go to a race and you guys hear those engines revving 180 miles an hour into a damn turn. These cars are like inches away. It gets, butterflies, man.
And the funny thing is, though, because you hear what Michael Jordan said about always kind of having a love for this sport. And in a way, you can kind of say, yeah, he took advantage of the situation from what happened in NASCAR last season with the whole Bubba thing and the BLM brigade that happened and what was going on. So you could kind of see that, I think Michael Jordan somewhat in a way saw like a money grab opportunity to hop into the sport with a guy that he already sponsored and Denny Hamlin, I think who else? I see a lot more sponsorships. I think, is it the Mavericks or there's a team in the NBA that's sponsored by Jordan now, right?
There's a lot of teams now. There's a lot of teams. Michigan,
Paris Saint-Germain.
A lot of teams are actually wearing jerseys that have the Jordan signal, Jordan symbol
Jordan
on
brand.
it.
That's
Jordan
that's
brand. Yeah,
part of Nike, but it's their own thing.
And it's also Nike who's sponsoring the NBA. So you'll find like a lot of teams now. But primary, your PSG, a lot of different teams.
And we have seen that Denny Hamlin obviously has been sponsored by this, Michael Jordan sportswear for a couple seasons now. I've been seeing it on his gloves and his fire suit. So at the end of the day, Michael Jordan, I got to take him for his word just because at the same, North Carolina boy, right? And we all know where's the home of NASCAR, North Carolina, right? So I do believe that he actually did grow up, kind of with the watching this, maybe not watching it, but he's in tune with it, growing up or being around North Carolina his whole life, going to college there and whatnot. I mean, the guy's got money, and why not, dude? I mean, I'm excited. There's not too many Toyotas in the field, which is kind of funny because when you look at the Truck Series and you look at the Xfinity Series, obviously it's full of Chevys and Toyotas. When it comes to the Cup Series, though, you only got, 5-6 Toyotas, right? So we saw the 23 car of Bubba Wallace. He was great in qualifying. He was great in practice. Let's see what he has tomorrow in the 500, guys.
Yeah, so let's get into the 500. So Daytona 500, the first race of the year. You have, for those of you who aren't really familiar with these restrictor plate races, you have 2 super speedways in Daytona Beach, Florida, and Talladega.
Everyone knows Talladega. Come on now.
Yeah, from Talladega Nights. It's an actual racetrack.
You ain't first, you're last.
It is real.
Yeah. So you have these air restrictor plates that go on the engine to kind of prevent them from going like well over 200 miles an hour. I guess it's just one of those a new safety precaution. But they've had it for years, right? How long do you think they've had the restrictor plates?
I think 180 might be fast enough, though.
Yeah, well, they're going. During practice qualifying, they're going well over 190.
If it wasn't for those restrictor plates, they would go about 215, 220, and then they just get airborne, and you don't want that. We saw what happened to Ryan Newman last year. So.
Yeah, so just a really fun race. And I'm going to point out that starting Tuesday, Speed Week, we had the Clash. We had the 2 dual races. We had just like a random practice that you could tune into. And then Friday was a truck race. Tonight was the Xfinity Series race. And then tomorrow the Cup Series. Like, can you imagine that every week of races was like that? There's just something to tune into from Tuesday to Sunday?
It almost was like that during the damn pandemic. I don't know if you guys remember, guys, about 8 months ago, 10 months ago, NASCAR was one of the first sports to obviously come back. I mean, these guys are strapped into their own cars as a little cocoon. They're kind of, you can kind of do NASCAR without having to spread a virus, if you will. But at the end of the day, NASCAR was kind of the first sport to really come back. And if you don't remember, they had they had 4 races within 11 days. It was like Wednesday night, Friday night, Monday night, and that was
Pocono races.
That was real fun. I think that NASCAR could look into that to maybe kind of switch up the schedule a little bit, get some mid-week races in, kind of shorten up the schedule, get it to end a little bit more into early to mid-February, maybe right before that Halloween break instead of the Thanksgiving break. But nonetheless, they give us 36 races a year. They fulfilled their schedule last year, having to do a lot, and I got to give the utmost respect to NASCAR for doing all that they can to try to, to not only grow the sport, which I believe they have been doing, obviously with the whole Bubba Wallace and everything that they're trying to appeal to, last year, man, what did they do? They stopped, they banned the Confederate flag at their sanctioned events. So that was huge because we know how NASCAR is down there in the South, and they're just, they can kind of bring a different type of, party that us West Coasters aren't really used to. But
bunch of RVs, my bear.
At the end of the day, I tip my hat off to NASCAR for doing all that they can to try to get new eyes on the sport. Their Drive for Diversity program, which Larson came up from, where they got, and I think maybe Daniel Suarez as well, to try to get different minority backgrounds into this sport. But man, it's just great. They've been growing at it's not like it was back in the day in the 90s with Earnhardt and all them. I wish it could get back to that one day. I don't know if it ever will be, but I hope that with all the changes they've been doing and getting this new blood like Michael Jordan into the sport, that it can actually, propel this sport that we here at the Comic Bookies podcast love. So, let's see what happens tomorrow in the 500.
So let's give our quick analysis of the actual race. So I believe it starts at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for all of you people over on the West Coast.
I wanted to tell you guys that. You just mentioned how we had the duels, we had qualifying, we had a lot of stuff. Yeah. Pretty much the only thing that was canceled all week was qualifying for the Xfinity and ARCA series this morning and the 2 practices for the Cup series. So you know what that means, guys.
All that rain, man.
The rain's coming tomorrow, man. So hold on tight because I guarantee you there's going to be some damn delays down there in Florida.
So that's what pisses me off. It's like the same thing that kind of pisses me off during the baseball season. We have like April, May. It's beautiful out here on the West Coast. And Cleveland, Baltimore, New York, Boston, just rain out. And then what's the stat, Mark? Like since the 80s, the A's have never had a rain out.
Until 2 years ago, right?
Well, yeah, they did. But oh man, it just pisses me off that now I have to watch. Now I have to, be clocked in and making money at work while watching the race and not getting any work done.
Well, I think that was like the classic Sunday text that you and I were getting, Mike, from Mark. It was always about 8 or 9 a.m. with the eyes up, just eyes up like this, and Yuri knew what was going on. We didn't have to ask like what's going on, and Yuri knew. Well, when's the rain starting and when's it ending? And you know what? I mean, actually, real quick, alluding to what Mark said about the races last year. The pandemic obviously caused a whole bunch of mischief with all these different sports, delays, postponement. It's still affecting the sports. But NASCAR is true. That was one of the first sports to come back, and the way they came back, while it did kind of like suck with no practice, qualifying, and all these races clustered, that was actually kind of a good thing, I think, too, because it was so like, what's going to happen? Now, the results obviously weren't that, because, Harvick was dominating, but I think just kind of like the what's going to happen, these racers are kind of just getting thrown on a track. so many races in a short span. But, this season, obviously, it feels fresh. We have Kyle Larson back again saying that. And Daytona tomorrow, I think, is one of those that we're just excited. We had some qualifying. We had some racing tonight, yesterday, the duels, all these different. We have to actually see our racers on the track again. So I think it's going to be a good day tomorrow, man. Hopefully that rain can stay away.
Yeah, so let's, I think personally my guy, Kyle Larson, and all of Hendrick Motorsports, they didn't finish up at the top last year. Denny Hamlin's won 2 straight. This will be the first time that anyone has ever won 3 straight Daytona 500s. We'll see if he can pull that off, but I honestly think it's going to be a Ford or a Toyota. I'm the Chevy fan here, but I do like all the Fords as well. I'm one of the, I don't like Joe Gibbs. They win a lot, and I hope they don't win. And I hope that Kevin Harvick doesn't start this season off with the win, because we even said last week we think he's going to kind of have a dip. But you know what? I want to see someone like Ryan Blaney win it.
Yes, good racer, good racer.
You know what? Screw it. Even if he's Joe Gibbs, I'm sorry. I want Bubba Wallace to win it too. He finished second place a couple years ago, and that huge crash happened at the end when Austin Dillon won. He finished second place. So I want to see Ryan Blaney win it, or of course one of my HMS guys, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott. But yeah, I don't know. I do not think it's going to be Denny Hamlin. What do you guys think?
You know what? Just because I want the big, hey, remember this guy's that good, I want Kyle Larson to win. And it's not just because it's your guy, Mike. Yeah, he is, Hendricks with my boy Chase, and I love Chase. He did win the championship last year, for those who don't know. Chase Elliott, number 9 car, Chevy. But, no, I think, failed inspections is something that Mark might talk about in a little bit. It happened. It's a part of the sport. Start in the back, but win in front.
Starting in the back, actually, tomorrow.
What are the odds of that? But you know what? I think it would be awesome if first race of the season, Kyle Larson does win, because he did have the hiccup last year where he used a racial slur. It did suspend him indefinitely. But he's a young guy. He's actually Elk Grove's finest. He's a local guy pretty much from California. I believe Japanese-American, I want to say. So a Japanese-American racer. And I just think, being a young guy like that, he's a freaking damn good racer. And when we went to our first race ever, Mike and I in Fontana with Mark, he actually won. So it's kind of this goddamn fool is pretty good, So, hey, Daytona coming up tomorrow actually would be awesome, I think, if Larson won.
I think it actually would be pretty cool if Eric Almirola won, man.
Double A batteries, baby.
Double A batteries. He won the dual race. We saw that, obviously, William Byron, Bill, he has to go to a backup car, which he is going to be starting at the rear of the field. So that is going to bump Eric Almirola into that, obviously not pole position, but into that front row start for the Daytona 500. And, man, that guy had a strong car.
He's good on super speedways.
He's got his first win in Daytona in July a couple years ago, and he is real good on super speedways. But, the damn thing with these super speedways is sometimes it's better to be, lucky than good sometimes, and just luck has not been on Eric Almirola's side lately. It just hasn't. He always has the speed. Obviously, he runs with Kevin Harvick's team at Stewart Haas Racing, so he's got a great organization. The dude just can't get that good luck on his side. But I'd like to see him win, man. You see him, he's a co-favorite sitting at second place with Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Eric Almirola. All sitting at 10-1 to win this race. 2 Penske drivers, so you got those 3 Fords with Eric Almirola included. But another guy, guys, that is obviously really, really good at super speedways, and he just hasn't been able to capture this victory either, just like Tony Stewart hasn't. He won in Daytona in July 3 or 4 times, but the guy just was never able to capture the 500. And this is Brad Keselowski, guys. He is a great super speedway racer, such as Dale Jr. and Dale Sr. as well. These guys, somehow they talk about I've never been out there racing, but they see the air. I don't know how they see the air. They feel it. And I think it has a lot to do with the spotter. We see how my guy, Joey Logano, he's been real good lately at these super speedways because he got the spotter that was Dale Jr.'s old spotter and TJ Majors to come over and join him at Team Penske. And when your eyes are only about 270 degrees around the car and you can't really see behind you, at the end of the day, you rely on that spotter, to pretty much tell you exactly when you're clear and when you're not, guys.
Yeah. So is he your pick? Let's get some odds.
I'll give you odds right here. You guys know Danny Hamlin is your favorite. I do not think he's going to go back to back to back. He's trying to win, 4 out of the last 5 years.
Crazy, yeah.
It's not going to happen this year, guys, but he is your 6-1 favorite, not even a double-digit, not even double-digit odds, so I don't see any value in there. Eric Almirola, like I mentioned, 10-1, Chase Elliott, 10-1, Joey Logano, 10-1, as well as Blaney. And then you start getting into Keselowski and Kyle Busch at 11-1. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, guys, Kyle Busch is going to have some redeeming of himself to do from how garbage he was last year. He also has not won the 500. Another great racer in his own right, approaching 40 years old as well. He has not won it. So I'd be looking. I don't know if I'll be looking to him because he's not going to have too many friends in the field in Toyotas. Like I mentioned, there's only about 5 or 6 of them. But, man, Kurt Busch, you can't let him out either, dude. 22-1, and Alex Bowman starting on the pole as well in that Hendrick Motorsport Chevy at 22-1 as well. And guys, I know you guys don't want to hear it, but another guy I'm seeing here at 22-1, the guy that's probably going to start the first caution, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr., man. The dude is good on these speedway races. He just goes he goes too hard sometimes, but I mean, it might be his day one day. You never know. I look for value when I take these, when I put a little bit. I mean, this is a crapshoot. You guys know Daytona is a crapshoot. Anything can happen. So it's kind of like you got to kind of look for value. You're not going to take single odds because they can get caught up in the accident, just like the dude that's sitting here at 30-1 and a Matt DiBenedetto. He can win it too. What did you guys say? It was like 11 years to the day that Trevor Bayne won it in the 21.
I remember when Trevor won that.
When they used to do the tandem racing, right? So, I mean, 10-year anniversary, you never know. Even a guy like Matt DiBenedetto in that Wood Brothers 21 can get it, man.
I mean, you have it's just so hard. Shout out Todd Furman, who's on Outkick the Coverage on Fox Sports. He does the TV show with him as well. But he says this is more of like the spectator race. You might not want to put any money on this one because it is the crapshoot.
Yeah.
They have an over-under. I think they're fielding 41 or 42 cars, and the over-under number of cars to finish on the lead lap is 17.5. So there's going to be a big one. So maybe you want to just kind of maybe pick like your favorite driver or pick like one guy, sprinkle a little money on or whatever. But as far as like doing all these matchups and putting money on like 4 or 5 different winners, you may want to stay away. Don't put hundreds of dollars on this race. Just kind of sit back and relax, especially if it's your first time getting into NASCAR,
Well, even when I got to Mark's house before he started setting up, we were watching the last few laps of the race today, the Xfinity race, and you see how hard they go. Like, I'm talking this guy, it's not clear, and sure enough, he cuts low, and boom, the car takes it.
Sometimes they don't even hit him. It's just the air.
You see the air pull that back corner, and see you later. So, no, it's fun to watch, but there's times where you see these guys get a little too aggressive. Ricky Stenhouse, for example, who, hey, it might be his day because of how aggressive he is, but also might be the end of his and many others because of what he does. So,
right?
Yeah.
So that's it. So everyone tune in to Fox tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, Danielle. Suarez, we are rooting for him. We'll see if it could be dale. See if he could get something.
Right, Trackhouse thing.
Suarez. 99. You guys see him up there, 99 up in the corner.
Oh, there you go.
The camera can see it right there in our main screen right
Russ
there.
And Cat, thank you so much, guys. Russ and Cat, thank you, guys.
Jack Roush.
So let's I don't want to end sports just now. Does anybody have any questions in
What's
sports?
that Warrior score, Sean?
You know what? I was actually hoping you guys weren't going to ask that.
What's that Warrior score, guys?
I think the proper way to say it is we getting that ass whooped. We're down 26 currently, 108 to 82. It's just one of those games. I'm looking at even the stat line right now. Like, Curry's actually having a good one. Mm-hmm. He has right now, 24 points, sorry. And offensively, even Oubre's actually hitting some shots.
Nice.
But then again, Durant, Harden, and Kyrie are hitting a lot more shots.
And since we are live, guys, if any of you guys got some accounts out there, minus 23.5 that you can get the Brooklyn Nets at right now. Or
live betting.
Live betting, guys. Make some money.
Or if you think the Warriors, we're getting you live lines right now. Warriors plus 23.5 to still cover a 23 and that 23 number. I kind of like the Warriors here, guys. Are they still got a whole quarter?
I don't know. Hey, we're actually
the juice is at minus 120.
We're getting some live comments as we speak from Aaron again. This game ugly. So I don't know if I want to touch the Warriors right now.
But it doesn't. I mean, it's ugly. But it can be.
Have it on.
It can be ugly.
The best time is garbage time. Remember,
it can be as ugly as it wants. But we all know here that the line is the common denominator, or the great. What do they say? It's not the common denominator, but the great equalizer, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
true.
The line is the great equalizer, and I think that. I mean, 23 points, that's a lot of points. I think that the Brooklyn Nets might start to rest their guys. So if you guys are live, get it in. I'm taking the Warriors.
Well, since I guess, we're having a little bit of fun right now, kind of getting, a lot of comments, interaction. We are getting some questions, I guess directed towards me. What are the Niners going to do for free agency? And I think even Raider-wise, what should the Raiders do? We should make it a little broad for all of us.
Defense.
Well, yeah, I guess we keep it simple. Defense. You got Gus Bradley to replace Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get defense.
Yeah.
We
need someone to get to the quarterback, or at least that's what I was saying like a few weeks ago. No, I know Crosby can get
someone,
to him,
though. Get
but
another
you know
piece.
what? If you can get that Justin Smith, Alden Smith duo, you need someone who can then take a few guys, because they have, Clelin Ferrell. He had kind of, he did better about, the run stopping.
I'm disappointed.
I know you may be disappointed. What was it, 4th overall pick or whatever? But you need someone on the opposite side of Max Crosby who can really, really get to the quarterback. So someone who can be his Alden Smith, and then Justin Smith can get to the quarterback and get all the sacks.
And I'm going to be totally rude, guys,
Sports.
but we do got to answer little sister's question. Sarah, she's
Okay.
wondering, what do we think about the J.J. Watt situation, and where is he going to go? I mean, you know what? He might be a little older, might not be playing as many games as he's getting hurt, but we know the impact he has.
Before we answer that question, I want Mike to give us his spiel on what the hell happened on just not even trading him, just letting him.
Oh, we all agree with that.
He asked. He
don't get nothing for him.
He asked to be released. I don't know the injury history or whatever, but I personally think that J.J. Watt's gonna go with his brother. Two brothers, sorry, because both other brothers are in Pittsburgh. So
Yes.
why not make it the trifecta in
Well,
Pittsburgh?
you know what? If you can save some money on a player who's probably making, so much money
he's
on all
made
his
enough money.
contracts, take a pay cut.
take
You're
the
going
pay
to a
cut.
contender. You're playing with your family. You're on the back end of your career. You know what?
Tampa? You said
That was the team I was thinking. I mean, they're saying pretty much at Tampa, possibly the Niners, possibly Buffalo, possibly Pittsburgh. There's definitely some good scenarios for him. I mean, in the end, he's going to a winning team, and there's anyone who deserves it, it's JJ. He's done so many good things. We see how much money he raised for Houston when they had the floods, and just the impact he has on the field. He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald is, the second 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. So, no, I think it was good for him to get out of Houston. He had so much pride to be there, but it was time for him to go, man. I mean, that team is kind of just cancerous. They got rid of Hopkins for David Johnson in the 3rd-round pick. Watson doesn't want to be there. They're getting rid of all their draft picks. It's time for him to go. And
they were blaming it on the coach, right?
O'Brien,
which is now down there in Tuscaloosa.
He is offensive coordinator, I believe, taking care of
took over for
Sarkisian.
Mr. Sarkisian.
Yeah.
Shout out Steven Sarkisian, the Killers, your favorite band out there. But he's going to be taking over duties at Texas for Mr. Coach Herman.
Yeah, Houston Texans are duty now.
But I think that
Doodoo Brown.
Didn't the owner just?
Oh, the
He
owner
stepped
just
down
resigned. So
after-
it's just
for Houston.
Yeah, it's a shit show
Since
right
their
now.
inception 20 years ago. He's been with the team 20 years, and he's out. So, I mean, I'm sorry, J.J. Watt needs to go to a team. He wants to win. He wants to win. He has gone to the playoffs. Now, I think I told Mark this. I forgot who I told. But since, for the last 10 years, only 4 or 5 other teams have made the playoffs or played more playoff games than the Houston Texans. They've had success even before Watson was in
Arian
the
Foster
league.
days, Andre Johnson days.
Exactly. So they've had success in their first 20 years being in the league, but J.J. Watt wants to win. So where do you go? You're going to have to take a pay cut. You want to go to Pittsburgh or you want to go to...
Where do you want to win?
Exactly. I think the obvious choice is Tampa Bay because they just won. Because Pittsburgh still has 2 teams that might be better than you.
And
Baltimore
Shaq
and
Barrett
Cleveland.
wants to get paid, so he's going to probably be out the door, which, hey, I'll sign this guy to a 1-year veteran minimum. You're playing,
How many more years does Big Ben have on the opposite side of the ball?
Just saying. So we actually have a lot of interaction right now. Love it. Aaron, Adele, a whole bunch of people we grew up with and we're friends with. a lot of Raiders stuff, which is awesome. Patrick Peterson's a free agent.
You got the town hat, baby.
I represent, baby. Always representing. Patrick Peterson, sorry, he's actually going to probably get released. So, I'm seeing things. Should the Raiders try to go after a, receiver one, a Juju possibly?
Tyrell's gone,
should they
right?
try to go after a Sherman? Should they try to? They should get rid of Tyrell. Should they go after a Patrick Peterson? What specifically on defense would you want? You mentioned the pass rush. You guys are the Raider fans, so you guys definitely take the floor on this. Like, you guys are on top right now. What do you guys say? Hey, I need to select this. I need to get rid of this. What do you guys think you guys
I like
need?
the young talent at the cornerback position. It's not something that I want to jump ship on just yet. With Mullins and the kid with the...
You draft too high, Arnett. You got to keep
Arnett.
those guys, yes.
Yeah, and so...
Add a vet, though.
Huh?
You should add a veteran.
For sure,
Sherman,
for sure.
Patrick Peterson. Perfect, actually.
Someone who can come in maybe on the cheap, maybe spend a little bit of money, but he has the leadership skills. He has to, take some of these kids under their wing and do the linebacker position. And I think you need the other guy.
One
you
more
need
rusher.
to hit a quarterback in the mouth. You need to get them uncomfortable because that's exactly how they beat Kansas City. Their only loss this season. Sorry. There's, sorry.
You guys can't take the credit for just
In the regular season. Hey, the Raiders and Tom Brady were the only two teams that beat Kansas City this year. But yeah, you need someone to get to the quarterback and make him uncomfortable. You can't just depend on Crosby because obviously he didn't do a well enough job to get the Raiders to the playoffs. That's where they need to be right now.
It's crazy I watch so much football, and I'm a diehard Niner fan, but I love football so much that I can speak on the Raiders, too. I think getting rid of Tyrell is great. I think Nelson Aguilar is going to go get paid somewhere because we know his one good year, he's going to just go get paid, which he should.
Well, he learned to catch the ball, and now
Good
he'll
for
forget
you.
whenever he goes.
Go
That's
get
fine.
paid. But I think when you look at the Raiders, I think Carr's kind of proven he can fit the system and move the ball well. I think the cornerbacks are young enough, and you just kind of drafted them so high. You kind of need to keep them one more year. I think Abrams stay healthy. You're good there. You definitely need another pass rusher. I think Farrell and Crosby can hold down the line. You can add a veteran at the D-line.
What are your thoughts on Farrell, though?
I think Farrell, here's the thing.
An upset.
Well, here's the thing about Farrell is you expect how many sacks because of what he did at Clemson. He's actually holding his zone to a degree. Yes, is he freaking playing bull out there? It's his third year, bro, and he's playing one of the hardest positions at, a defensive tackle. He's around the guard and center all day getting double teamed. So I think it's a little hard to say this guy's a bust. He ain't a bust.
I was just going to ask that, though.
He ain't a bust.
Because
He's not a bust.
He's
on the interior,
He's
so you got to remember, bro, he's in a hard position. So I think if the Raiders go and get another linebacker and, of course, another pass rusher, and you get the veteran, you get the guy who can speak up to Arnett. Arnett, bro, you have the talent.
Yeah.
You're Ohio State's finest. You have the talent to be good. And again, Abrams, kind of forget the big hits and make the damn tackle. And, God, on the offensive side, you see what they can do. Josh Jacobs, stop getting DUIs, I'm not trying to bash the kid,
you
but
could
damn.
have planted little Lucy Vert's diamond in the middle of his
I'm
forehead
not
with
trying to
that
bash
skull
the
that
kid,
just
but
bad.
damn. So I think the Raiders, again, bro, they actually made a lot of strides last season. You guys see me picking them on a lot of games last year. I rode them hard because I think they have a good core, a good crop. And you know what? I think next season might be even better if they make the right strides.
I don't know. Are we going to get fans, too, this year? That's another thing.
Yeah.
Is home field advantage going to return
I think
next season to the NFL?
I hope by
Maybe
September,
Nevada.
you're going to have to, right? You're going to have to by September.
I don't think California's going to get to because California couldn't even play at the home stadium, let alone have fans in it. So maybe the 49ers.
But Newsom's going to get recalled, guys. So
But maybe, so you have the Chargers, Rams, and 49ers, they may be able to play at SoFi and Levi's, but are they even going to have fans? It might be a little bit of the same, but then again, we have until August, so things could change with the whole, vaccinations, everything. People could get more comfortable.
So we have more questions coming in, I guess, obviously going
keep them rolling.
We're going to the other team, the Niners. We don't get too deep into free agency because I know you guys don't exactly watch the Niners. But I think you got to go right up that avenue. I guess real quick on free agency, I think we definitely need to work on our defense. Get rid of the tarts, the over contracts. We definitely need a cornerback, another pass rusher. We see what happened losing Buckner. I think offensively we're okay as long as we have the right quarterback. I still have faith in Garoppolo. Restructure, lower that salary cap hit a little bit. Yeah, I think Niners are okay. Keep Garoppolo. Restructure the contract, though. Now you guys, you guys are on the outside looking in, so I think you guys actually have, a fun perspective because, again, we don't have all Niner fans online. Do you guys think, Garoppolo, the guy who helped the team get to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, who was a couple throws away from winning the Super Bowl, who went to New Orleans and had that last-minute drive that he single-handedly got us the win. Do you guys think this is the guy? Or are you guys going to hold it against him that he got hurt last year? Or is it just like, you know what?
Well, he hasn't gotten hurt just last year, Sean. He's gotten hurt 2 out of the last 3 years. Some injuries that have kept him out numerous games. So let me pose this question to you. Like the whole Deshaun Watson thing with the Raiders, I mean, what's it worth to you for him to go to the 49ers?
Well, I think Stafford messed that up. We've seen the deal that Stafford got and how much we had to give up. And I just think at the end of the day, as important as a quarterback is, which I really think is that important, I think that just anything more than 2 first-round picks is way too much for my budget. And I don't want to get rid of Bosa. I don't want to get rid of Ayuk.
Someone was talking about the 95.7 the game.
Yeah,
the best
they said
radio
that
station in the United States. Or sorry, I forgot. I misspelled worst. They were talking Bosa. They were talking like, would you do Bosa?
That's not even a
Because
thought.
someone made the argument that he got hurt in like high school. He got hurt in college. He's already been hurt in the NFL.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, bro. Y'all seen how effective he is. He had the most
know.
pressures all time in a Super Bowl with 13. I think his numbers don't lie. I mean, injuries, I think we're actually smart enough fans to kind of step back and say injuries just happen. This sucks. We criticize a little bit. But, I mean, crap, who the hell wants our players hurt?
It's like Liverpool this season. Man.
I mean, that's hey, the next time we're live, we'll go EPL on all y'all asses.
Where's our footy fans?
All the
out
soccer
there?
fans.
But on the other side, on the other side of the bay, or sorry, you have to drive a little bit to Las Vegas now. But Derek Carr, he's been a slightly different quarterback since he broke his leg in like 2016, and then he broke vertebrae or whatever in his back in 2017.
Donald Penn, thank you.
You know, we haven't called him check down Charlie for the last 4 or 5 seasons. It's just been the last couple years. He's scared in the pocket. I mean, he still makes those like, damn, Derek Carr does that. But he has those stats, but still.
But to his defense, I think that he did kind of avoid that fear a little bit better this season.
Oh, he was nice.
Yeah,
he was nice.
He wasn't as scared this season. I don't know if I don't know why, but for some reason, I think that he composed himself in the pocket a little bit better. When he did scramble, I don't think that he hesitated as much. So I think that all this hoopla about Derek Carr getting traded and whatnot, I think it's a bunch of malarkey, in my opinion. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a guy that went to the Super Bowl 2 times. It'd be nice to have a guy that went to the Super Bowl 2 times, but at the same time, I mean, Derek Carr holds records for this franchise, right? And at the end of the day, he knows the system. At the end of the day, I mean, you could have Russell Wilson come in, but that might take, 2 years off of Gruden's contract, right? We're in his 4th season. He's on a 10-year deal. By the time Russell Wilson can, kind of gel with Gruden, it might be, 2 years later, So at the end of the day, we kind of take Carr for granted. I've been following Carr ever since Fresno State when Devontae Adams was his go-to out there.
Paulie George was out there, the finest.
Paul, that was even after Paul George. But at the end of the day, man, Derek Carr, he's been dropping.
Aaron Judge.
Devontae Adams, too.
Devontae Adams, Paul Waldo.
Derek Carr, he's been dropping them dimes ever since Fresno State.
We were watching on, bro. I'm over
and
here.
I remember when the draft happened, Mike was the first one saying, man, I hope we can get this guy Derek Carr like the 31st, 32nd pick. And it's exactly what happened.
First couple picks in the second round.
Exactly what happened. We got our guy. He's broken records for this franchise.
Yes, Russell.
So,
Get rid of D Ford. You're right.
I mean, we'll see what happens. Any Raider fans out there, let us know. Are you guys with us on Carr or not? I mean, I'm still an advocate for Mr. DC, so we'll see.
Joe asks, do you guys think Derek Carr is a softie? I mean, he's not a softie, like, hey, you're a softie. But, I mean, he's gotten softer since that, fateful Christmas Eve day.
It's broke.
It's broke.
Donald Penn's first, Sean mentioned it. Donald Penn.
And then he breaks his back in
Where's the
Denver.
Colts?
He's gotten softer. He has those plays where it's randomly like set hike, and if it's like first or second read is not open,
Check down
he just
Charlie.
But let me
throws it at the ground like randomly. Like what the hell is going on?
Let me ask you this, Joe, if you're still in tune with us. Joe, do you think that the reason why he's gotten a little bit softer is age? We obviously know that he's approaching, 30s, or he's getting close to 30, or he's 31.
He's already young 30s.
About Curry's age and whatnot, and we know that just in life, you kind of, when you're younger, you have no fear. You start to learn fear as you get older. So he's been through his trials and tribulations. He had to stay out one of the only playoff games that they've made in his tenure. So what do you think, Joe? You think it's his age, or you think that maybe his?
He's turns 30 next month.
Oh, 30.
So
Okay,
he needs to take the opportunity and look at someone who's 13 years older than him and Tom Brady and start eating some avocado ice cream. And
Avocado tequila at that.
Avocado everything. And just start doing what he's, some nice lean chicken breast like every day for every meal. And just
as long as Urban Meyer don't want to go get him down to play down there in Jacksonville because you go down and play in Florida.
I think if Derek Carr leaves somewhere, as long as it's not like, the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers.
And won the division, of course.
I would root for him, man. I would root for him to succeed.
While we're having so much fun with the fans, we got to keep it rolling, man. I think we're loving this right now. This is something we got to take advantage of. This is what it's for, guys. Again, to the fans, thank you so much. All the questions, interaction. Again, this is brought to you by Treasure Island Comics. Alex always representing us, our great comic book shop in Fremont, California. If you need something, talk to the guy. If you want to get into comics, talk to the guy. He has so much knowledge, and again,
even if you want to just go talk movies, right?
If you just want to talk about something in general, this guy is an awesome person, full of knowledge. And again, he sponsors the comic bookies, so we love it. And to our next question, we're going to go to the hard courts. We obviously see where the Warriors are at. I think we're in a contending spot. Are we a championship team? Probably not. We have a question from one of our fans. Where we're at, do you possibly think maybe we should try to trade Oubre and maybe some draft capital to a big time, a team to get a big time player to maybe get us to like the next level? Or do we kind of think, hey, we don't want to get rid of draft capital. We have Clay coming back next year. Like, we're in limbo right now.
So you have to ask yourself, are we even a championship team with a healthy Clay?
That's what it comes down to.
I don't want to trade Wiseman. You cannot trade Wiseman. You cannot give up on him so fast. But you know what? You might get another big. You know what I'm saying? You might have to trade something to just get someone to bang down there.
Sean, I ask you this question because you're the resident comic bookie fantasy basketball player.
Oh, man, I am.
DraftKings, shout out DKNG. Whoever got
and FanDuel.
DKNG, baby. But no, Sean, what do you think the Warriors' purpose was bringing in Oubre? Do you think it was kind of a Band-Aid while Clay is hurt, or do you actually think that they had intentions to keep him in the long term? I personally think it was half and half of a Band-Aid. Let's see how he does. If he does good, let's see if we can try to attain him. But what's your opinion on that, Sean?
I think it was a perfect Band-Aid because Clay gets hurt. It's like, oh, crap, we got to get somebody. And I think he got traded originally to OKC, which they weren't going to keep him. So we got rid of a first-round pick for him. And I think the half and half, hey, if he kind of, pans out, we're going to keep him around. I mean, Wiggins is playing awesome basketball this year. Obviously, Curry and Dre, they're doing their thing. But I also think Oubre is a perfect player that if things kind of don't work out, he's young, he's talented. Teams know what he can do. And if he kind of just doesn't fit the system, then you just trade him. I mean, remember, sports is a business, guys. And if you got to trade him, then just trade him. But you obviously make sure you get the value you can. So I think it kind of alludes to the question we have right now. I think people know, like, he's playing better basketball right now. The Warriors, do you think you're a championship team? Do you want to maybe start building some pieces like Oubre and a draft pick? You get Clay next year and you start getting ready for next season, like for championship-wise. I think what you said is true. It's a perfect half and half. He's a Band-Aid. But, that Band-Aid could become permanent.
What about their draft picks coming up in this next season? Do you think that where they go to or how many draft picks they're getting and who's going to be available coming out of college? Unfortunately, guys, we know March Madness is approaching us.
It is.
I myself will be the first one to say I haven't paid too much attention to college basketball.
We never do in the regular season.
That's the problem. I usually do, but I've been so busy that it's going to be a March Madness type of year for me.
Bro.
I'm going to kind of just be winging it.
This is the first March Madness they say it is possible that Duke, North Carolina, and I believe Kentucky may not be in the tournament. Or I think even Michigan State possibly.
You want to talk about a COVID year. I mean, that's as crazy as not even having a damn tournament, period.
That is true. So let me ask you again, Sean, do you think that the Warriors' decisions going forward into the next season is going to have to be based upon where they think that they're going to be getting draft picks at and who's going to be available to them at that point? Or do you think that they're just going to be expecting, we're going to get Clay back, let's just try to get Oubre for another year, forget what we're going to do in the draft? Because like we see with the LA Rams, man, a lot of these teams, they're not really giving a damn where the hell their draft picks are going because they'd rather get these proven players, man.
Well, I think you got to remember this, bro. You get Clay back, you get another starter back. Starter. No matter what. Clay could tear both ACLs, both Achilles. He's a starter when he's healthy. So if I have Wiseman, who has to start, Curry, who has to start, Draymond, Wiggins, Oubre, and Clay, oh crap, I got 6 players. Someone's got to go. Unless Oubre says, hey, I guess I'm okay being, a sixth man type of player. I mean, if these guys can sacrifice pride and you can work out having all 6, hey, I would take that. We see Oubre
would be a great.
Oubre would be, I think, give me Oubre who plays 30 minutes a game as a sixth man and take that
please.
second bench, that first bench spot. I would take that in a heartbeat. So if you can work that out, that'd be good. There's actually a statement being made that there's a rumor, possibly a Draymond and Oubre deal for a DeRozan.
DeRozan? DeMar?
Just bringing up what we're saying. And these are rumors. They ain't saying it's going to happen. But, hey, what do you guys think about something like that? Some being brought up by the fans.
Because you gotta bring that.
Yeah, he can't shoot threes. I need a stretch.
You got Draymond the other day. He gets 0 points. He pulled his Perry Ellis in the right. If
Draymond, but you know what? But he also had 4 straight games of assists, double digits.
Exactly.
So I mean, Draymond's doing what Draymond does.
He's the unsung hero. I think that Draymond is just one of those players that
He'll be the guy that you blame and the guy that you praise for a win and a loss.
But you see him coaching up these rookies. You see him talking to them.
The stuff you don't get stats for. The stuff you don't get stats for.
We need a guy like that.
Who was the quiet one out of those two, Lowry or DeRozan, when they were in Toronto? Who was the quiet
Probably
one?
DeRozan.
It was DeRozan. Everyone hates Lowry.
But I don't want a quiet guy. I want Draymond.
I want Mouth. I want Dre.
I'm sorry. He probably is a guy that you don't like when he's not on your team, but man, he's on the Warriors. I've
a battery.
loved him since day one coming out of Michigan State.
And because we drafted him. Right?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Everyone wants to talk about super teams. Let's go ahead and put it, we got, Iguodala, we got some of the piece players, but Dre, Clay, and Steph
Drafted them all.
Homebred, dude.
Can't beat that, bro.
And
Kevon Looney coming off of the bench
Kevon Looney.
during the championship days. You can't hate on that, dude.
Hey, man, McAdoo. Come on, guys.
James Michael, baby. UNC's
Stop playing games with McAdoo. I hope you guys are having fun. Thank you so much
Yeah, thanks so
again.
much for
all the
everyone-
Instagram live stuff.
Yeah, for everyone who's
YouTube.
tuning in since the beginning, thank you so much. We're just getting started. If there's any more sports you guys want to, throw out there, we'll talk about it. EPL, Liverpool took one to the jaw today. They were up 1-0, I think, and then gave up 3 straight goals to Leicester City. So they're
15
down.
minutes.
Well, when you lose 3 out of, I wouldn't say 3 out of your 4 starters because you still got Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold on the flanks, but you lose Virgil van Dijk in the middle, Joel Matip, and Joe Gomez, which is pretty much your starting 3 defensemen. You're trying to patch up guys. You got Jordan Henderson in the back. You got James Milner trying to play defense. I don't even know what the hell happened to Naby Keita. They have a Japanese guy, Minamino, that they picked up this season. He's already, I think, at Southampton on loan. It's just these guys, they're just trying to patch stuff together. Mike, props to your Manchester United. I would even though I know Manchester United, there might be some Liverpool fans out there that are just as diehard as me that are going to say, how the hell are you going to say this? I'm going to say it just because my co-host here is a big fan. And I'd rather see the damn Red Devils win than those powder blue Manchester City oil money that just came out of nowhere to win their 11th straight Premier League game today and sit atop of the table 13 points clear of Liverpool, which kills me to my heart knowing that they have won. If they win this year,
What's that, 6 points?
if they win this year, it's going to be 3 out of the last 4. 3 out of the last 4, and that's what it's looked like it's going to be. I mean, you just can't stop these guys.
No, Leicester City won 4 years ago, and then Liverpool won last year, right?
No.
So maybe
Leicester
3 out of 5.
City won
Maybe
in
3 out of
about
5.
2015, and then
Leicester wasn't that long ago.
it was that long ago.
Really? I thought it was 16 or
Leicester
17.
was a long time ago, guys. So, and then you had Manchester
Remember, I didn't get
City.
into it until about 2016, and Leicester won the next season or that season.
I would say it's about 2015 because I remember when I was, really gambling on all that stuff, and I remember it was the biggest thing ever. How they basically, I think it was 250.
So my first year was the 15
Yeah.
16
16
season.
So it'll be
Yeah, so
it'll be 3 out of 4.
both-
It'll be 3 out of 4.
Wow.
If they win this year, it'll be 3 out of 4, and then Chelsea, Leicester,
crazy.
Chelsea. Yeah, it's pretty predictable though, right? It's been right now, man. These teams are playing good. Yes, we are in the soccer segment for just a little bit.
So Liverpool,
worldwide.
what do? They look forward to its Champions League now,
You have to. That's how soccer works, bro. There's so many different
You have
tournaments.
to have your mindset
Find a
on
trophy.
getting
especially
that
when
top
Klopp,
goal.
the manager, just conceded. Right? You
Yeah,
guys
he
saw
pretty
that.
much in the interview
He's had a
conceded the
tough
trophy.
week, though, dude.
His
He's
mom
lost
passed
his
away.
mom. So I mean,
His team is garbage. They can't figure it out. They can't.
I mean,
score
bro, they're
goals.
not garbage. They win the Champions League. I want to hear you say they're garbage. Just,
Yeah.
you
They're not
know.
going to win. They can't even beat Brighton Hove. You think they're going to beat Bayern Munich? Come on, bro.
Bayern Munich is a.
They can't even get the Seagulls, man. You think they're going to get? You think they're going to get the damn Munichs of the world? You saw what they did to the Tigres from in the Club World Cup the other day. You know, they say that could have been offsides. But, you know, I think the Tigres coming from the CONCACAF winning.
Yes,
We
yes.
saw that Liverpool won last year. I forgot what team they beat, but we all know that when you get that high seed, you only have to play like 2 games to get to the championship game in this FIFA Club World Cup, which is always played in Qatar, right? But then again, hey, it's a trophy. It's a trophy to lift.
Trophy and it's money.
That's true.
That's all teams want is trophies, man.
yeah. So as we round out the sports section, we're going to go ahead and transition into the comic book / entertainment section of the podcast. But you know, like we always do every week, we're going to go ahead and segue by saying that this is the Comic Bookies podcast. We are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Every Wednesday, new comic book day. Go ahead and check Alex and his shop out. Please, he'll get you a pull list going. He can get you your books by mail, by curbside pickup, or you can go in there masked up as long as there's only 1 of 5 of you. But yeah, so we please go check out our Instagram page. Please go subscribe to our YouTube page. We drop videos every week or 2 of just extra content for you guys. We hope to go, fingers crossed, we're going to go live episode 101 and beyond here on YouTube and on Twitch going forward. So thank you so much for those of you who have dropped by just now, or have you been here the whole time. We really appreciate the support. This is almost 2 years in the making. We just love what we do. We get together every Wednesday. I sit on my ass and I just listen to music and edit the podcast every Friday. And it's just it's really cool, man. It's really fun to like find that niche market, and then to find people on Instagram who comment on one of our photos, right, or one of our stories, and I kind of talk to them about, oh yeah, thank you so much for the support, and then they ask me a question about sports. Like, this is a comic book artist and says, oh, what do you think about, I think it was the Super Bowl just this past week or 2. It's really awesome to get, you know, people who, because you figure there are at least millions and millions of people who watch the MCU movies, watch these DC movies or shows, and then also are sports fans. So you know what? There might be hundreds of thousands to millions of people who actually read comic books as well. So as we transition into comic books, what I like to do every week is I like to preview some books that have come out, you know, this week, this Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, this past Wednesday, I think it was the 10th. So on the DC side, we are in the middle of a future state era. Dark Detective 3, Justice League 2, and Green Lantern 2 come out. Rorschach number 5 on the Black Label side, and also on the Black Label side, American Vampire 1976 number 5. The Marvel side, for all you Marvel fans, there are some pretty good books out right now. Amazing Spider-Man 59, Daredevil 27, X-Force 17, Fantastic Four number 29, and Excalibur 18. And then we also like to talk about a lot of the smaller publishers. So right now, Image has a lot of books that just came out. One of our favorites, Undiscovered Country 12, Low 26. Sean is going to talk about Radiant Black number 1 and Homesick Pilots number 3. On the IDW side, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 114, and me and Mark read Scarent Hood number 4. And on the AWA, this is one of our favorite brand new publishers. A lot of guys coming over from Marvel to join to create this new small publisher. Erratic number 3 and Casual Fling number 1. So what we're going to get into before we get into the entertainment news and whatnot, talk about movies and TV and everything, we'd like to give a few of our picks for what we liked over the last week and what we look forward to this week as far as comic books, guys.
But before we even get into that, guys, I just want to let you guys know the Warriors did just lose in a winning effort, but didn't come up short by 17 points. But nonetheless, when the Comic Bookies podcast gave you guys the update to go live and do that live bet at
You
plus
had money.
23.5, there it is. That's some money won for you guys.
Don't
so
say we don't make money for you guys.
Don't say we thank you. Don't say we
Don't
don't
say we
make
do
money
nothing
for
for
you
you.
guys. That's what we're here live. If you guys had an offshore account, we're making money, baby.
All right, so what do you guys like about last week that you read? Because this is now 10 days that these books have come out, and then what were you excited about that we picked up either Wednesday or Friday this week?
I got to go straight into that Radiant Black, bro. Radiant Black.
So how was it? So it came out this week, and you already read it. Give fans. So any of you who are currently reading these titles, it may be spoilers. So just kind of mute. Don't stop watching, but you can mute it.
It was an awesome book because I seen it and it's like okay, like kind of every time I go into the website, we got books coming out on Wednesday. I just check out the new books coming out. I always look for the number ones. New stories and just okay, we got some guy who is having some money troubles, got to move back home. And, not to give this spiel, but he has his buddy Marshall. And we were talking about Mr. Nathan Burnett, who's, just an average book writer who's trying to look for the next big deal. And unfortunately, he's telling people he has a deal coming, which he doesn't. And he goes back home. His buddy Marshall is the guy who's like, hey, bud, let's just go get drunk. Let's go, we'll go to the bar. He's that guy of the group. And sure enough, when they leave the bar, Marshall is hammered beyond. Nathan's kind of just dwelling over not getting the money he wants, moving back in with his parents. He sees like a random type of bowl type thing in the air and grabs it, and he turns into the new hero, Mr. Radiant Black. And it's a good intro story for sure. A number one, and I think it's something I'll for sure actually put on my pull list. An easy read.
Oh, nice.
It's good, man.
And that's funny that you actually like that one because I saw it and I was thinking about pulling it, but then I read the little synopsis. I was like,
it was okay actually though.
That's good.
It was. I know. A lot of the books.
This is why I love this because something might not catch my eyes, but it catches these guys' eyes. And that's why we got 3 different co-hosts on this damn podcast because something I might be into, these guys aren't into, and something they're into, I don't give a damn about. So there's a little something in flavor for everybody to come listen to us, man.
Well, I think when I seen okay, another freaking hero, here we go. But when I actually seen exactly the synopsis and kind of dug into it a little bit deeper, some guy having money trouble, and it's just the relatable type of thing from that standpoint. Goes to the bar, gets drunk type of thing, and from there, yes, it takes off into kind of this guy has some powers now. And yeah, again, it's an easy read. Comics, it helps you just get your mind going a little bit with the visual and the words. So no, Radiant Black number 1 is definitely a good story for the non-comic book readers. Definitely broaden your horizons a little bit. Some just to read with a good visual. Some you can kind of see maybe even turn into a show or a movie.
Yeah,
I definitely recommend Radiant Black.
It's like what we were saying. A lot of all of these movies, and not just Marvel and DC. But you're like, oh wow, The Boys. Oh, that was an a Dark Horse comic book. Oh wow, they're gonna do this Image book, Undiscovered Country. They're gonna make into a show or a movie. I think it was a series. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of these ones, I think it's already been canceled, but I forgot what it was. It was the Academy. Crap, I got the first 3 volumes. I forgot what it was. But Umbrella Academy on Netflix. That's a comic book too. Oops. But yeah, so we have a lot of these books. One of my favorites right now is on the Future State side is Wonder Woman. It's really cool. Future State, for those of you who don't know, it's only a 2-month event. So January and February, and they kind of revert back to your normal books from December starting in March. So the Future State is what could be, what could have been, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. So Wonder Woman's really good. It's a brand new Wonder Woman, Yara Flor, and she's down in the underworld. She sees Hades, his wife, and she's just trying to get one of her sisters from Themyscira, who, is trapped down there in the underworld. Pretty much that's what happens. She gets trapped, and then she needs to escape. She does so, and what's cool about this Future State is it kind of gives you the impression of, oh my god, like this story is already over. The story's already over, so let's go ahead and end it, and then we'll see what happens. You don't know what's going to happen, come March, but who knows? Maybe they can go ahead and start anew. But yeah, so that one's pretty cool. Mark, do you have anything that you liked reading from last week?
Dude, what I loved from last week was actually a book that I damn near forgot so we get previews, and then we order the previews usually by the 18th of every month, and usually the books don't come out until 2 months after. I believe it's about a 2-month
3
wait.
months, yeah.
So sometimes I order books, and it's I don't even remember what the hell. I just give Alex my damn list, and then 2 months later, I'm like,
oh yeah,
this is you're the same way, right?
That's right.
Did I order that? I guess I did, right? So Fear Case, man, this is coming at you from Dark Horse Comics, man. Matt Kent. And I'll tell you right now that I think that I think that Dark Horse kind of delivered it with this one. I was kind of skeptical, but I'm glad that I got it. I am going to pull it. I am going to ask Alex how many issues it is. I'm thinking it's probably going to be 3 to 6, Mike. Do you think a Dark Horse offering? You didn't read it, so I know you don't know anything of it, so you couldn't really gauge.
I don't read a lot of Dark Horse books. I mean, the only Dark Horse I read is Black Hammer, but that's volumes and volumes of issues. But I actually have no idea. I don't know how many miniseries Dark Horse does.
So you pretty much got a Secret Service agent. They're kind of on this case, and it's about this box. You can kind of compare it to a black box inside of an airplane when they crash. They got all the recordings or whatnot. But this box is kind of mysterious. You give it, like, Mike, hey, I give you this box because I don't like you. So I say you got to hand it off to someone that you don't like, or the person that you love the most is going to pretty much, deal with all of these repercussions. It's kind of like a horror type of thing. So, I mean, I like it. It's a little bit different, but at the end of the day, I think that I really like the story enough to pull it because I like where it's going to go, but it's kind of got that mystery feeling to it in a horror sense. But horror is kind of one of my I wouldn't say least favorite, but when it comes to books, movies, and the such, I really don't do too much of the horror. But this is kind of horror mixed in with the mystery. And Unsolved Mysteries back in the day, Rescue 911. I mean, it's some of the best, right? So when you throw in that little mystery part of it, and now you got the pretty much a wife and the husband is cheating on the wife, so now it's up to her whether she's going to pass the case to the cheating husband, which she supposedly hates the most, because if she doesn't pass the case on to the cheating husband, it's going to go to the person that the husband loves the most, which is supposedly the young daughter. So,
that's a full circle, man.
So this book kind of got us in like a little conundrum. So that's why I had to pull it, because I got to see where the story is going to go. Is who's going to be caught with the case? Is it going to be the young daughter, or is it going to be the husband's cheating girlfriend, mistress type person? Because that's where it's heading right now. Yeah. But Fear Case, I know you guys didn't pick it up. I'm glad I did. If you guys want to borrow it, let me know. It's a great book, and I'm looking forward to the next offerings from Dark Horse for Matt Kent and what he has to do for Fear Case, dude. I liked it, dude.
So speaking of cheating spouses, Sean, Casual Fling. I know you didn't read it yet, Sean, Mark, but AWA with another banger. It's a really good book. Man, so just, how real did it feel, though?
That was like the worst part, bro.
Like a couple with 2 kids, the dad has like an IT job, so he's been working from home, so he's pretty much like the stay-at-home dad. The mom is a lawyer. She gets huge clients and stuff, and she, and it feels like the husband and wife are just distant.
They're disconnected. They're disconnected.
It sounds like it's been different since they've had kids. Just the lives kind of going in separate ways. She meets a gentleman, a young James Bond looking gentleman. Like, who the hell is this guy, right? And so he kind of, swoons her, kind of flirts with her at the bar. She's got to go home. Nothing happens, right? And but they exchange number. Oh no, they don't exchange numbers, because somehow later on in the story he gets her number. He says, "Oh hey, I'm actually extending my stay out here. Let's get some drinks." And she's like, "No, I'm like with my family now. Like I told you, Alex. Like I couldn't see you again." And sure enough, she goes and sees him, and that's when they get down. But then again, he has like a mask.
Well, you see the description they have in the book. Sex is never safe. And this guy, Alex, man, he records the whole thing, and it's one of those things that felt so real from the standpoint. You're reading it like, damn, I can see that happening. I mean, we in a pandemic, too. We got people working from home. You got the opposite, spouse now working from home. You unfortunately got, disconnected couples, and, crap happens.
Yeah.
And just reading it, you're like, ooh, man, that girl, she a naughty girl. She a bad girl. And Alex... I'm going back to L.A. He never left. And you know what? I mean, we don't want to give too many details.
But he wears a mask, so obviously they don't see him on camera, because the next one he calls her as they're having dinner, because they want to have a date night, husband and wife. So it's nice. They go out with the 2 kids and they're having a good time. And she has to take a phone call, and it's him, and he kind of, it feels like he's going to blackmail her to come and see him again, because he's at the time watching them doing the deed. And it's a pretty crazy first issue, Mark. I can't wait for you to jump on and read it.
Not only, I mean, I got it downstairs. I'm about to read it, but at the end of the day, I think that if we got some fans in here that are more geared towards sports, if we got some fans in here that are a little bit, on the seesaw, whether or not they want to get into these books or whatnot. At the end of the day, guys, this is where I get most of my entertainment value from. I don't watch many movies. I don't watch much streaming. These guys right here, my co-host next to me on the right-hand side of me, these are the streaming guys, right? So I think that a lot of people, they might not get into like the whole Batman and the whole superhero type, fictional type stuff, but when you read these books, like these casual flings, and I guess Fear Case in a way, but although Fear Case isn't, it does have more fiction to it, but you got these books that they call them graphic novels. You got comics, but then you got graphic novels, and a lot of people that, it's a novel, but you just got a little bit more pictures. At the end of the day, before there was movies, before there was motion pictures, before we were all entertained whenever they came to life in the early 1900s, these right here, guys, is what we had for entertainment. We had motion pictures. I mean, they didn't get put in motion, but these are pictures that we had to use your brain, It's just like I mention all the time. This is why I fell in love with baseball, which is going to be starting here in a couple of weeks, guys. Hopefully we get the whole 162 games, but this is why I actually love baseball and being able to listen to baseball on the radio. It's like my favorite sport to listen on the radio because you got to paint that picture inside your brain of what's happening on the field. And I mean, Mike will attest to this. I know a lot of the A's announcers and Korak and whatnot. They do a great job at doing it. They help me paint that picture. These books, they help me paint that picture in my brain as well. And I think that if people are kind of up on comic books are for these type of people, or comic books are for kids. Let me tell you this, guys. Comic books are not for kids. I read a lot more. I mean, if I read 100 comic books, I would say 90 out of 100 are not for kids. You got the kids section in Treasure Island Comics, which is off to the side where my daughter goes and sees. And then all the rest of it, I mean, you got, Punisher, or what was that one that you guys said that was gruesome as hell?
Yeah, the Punisher Max.
Bad
Awesome.
Mother.
Really good.
I mean, it's basically like watching a film, watching a movie, watching a streaming video, but you're reading it. If you want to open your mind, I don't read as much as I should, but, comics, Mike, thank you. It has helped me, read a little bit more in my life. You see these books up here. I got a couple investing books. I got my comic books up there that I've read. I don't read much, but what I also don't watch much TV, so I get my entertainment value from these books. So, check them out. It's not just superheroes and capes and masks. You get some crazy, gruesome,
real stuff.
You get some real stuff.
Real
cheating,
Something relatable.
Yeah.
You can see happening in the real
cheating,
world.
death, drugs,
Real life stuff,
Hot Valley Nights and Cocaine Days.
Yeah, Hot Valley Days and Cocaine Nights.
When's that? We need that third one to come out. But I mean, there's some crazy shit out here, man.
No Heroin from Frank Gogol. our friend
another
from
goodie,
the
Frankie
show.
Frank.
So that's the comic book side of the actual podcast. So before we get into entertainment, we're going to take a quick break. But thank you so much for tuning into the first 90 minutes of the Comic Bookies podcast, 100 episode extravaganza. We'll be right back.
Give us 1 second. How do we sound?
All right, welcome back to the Comic Bookies podcast. Again, brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Go follow the IG, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Next week, episode 101 will hopefully be live on YouTube and Twitch again, so go follow us on those platforms as well. So, fellas, let's get into some entertainment news. We have, for people who are just tuning in for the first time, we have plenty of things. We have March 18th. Justice League Snyder Cut's coming on HBO Max. March 19th, the next day, my anniversary. We have Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show starting. WandaVision's amazing. Who's going to watch King Kong versus Godzilla? What do we want to get into first? What are we excited for, dude?
I think
do we have any brand new news for this week?
I think just streaming wise, I know we have the new trailer tomorrow for Snyder Cut. I don't know if you guys seen that, but tomorrow we have the Snyder Cut trailer.
That's right.
And
with
basically
Joker?
the last one with Joker that they're going to have before the actual movie. 4-hour movie comes out, which will be in March, I believe, right?
March
Mike?
18th, yeah.
I think just streaming-wise, guys, streaming is something that we kind of included in our podcast recently just because just all the shows, HBO Max, Disney Plus, even your regular TV subscriber. There's all these great shows that are coming out, and whether it's DC or MCU, hey, we love it all, guys, and we have a lot of good stuff coming out right now. I got to admit, though, that Kong and Godzilla is pretty dope.
Dude, so dope. And and not just Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus, HBO Max. Sean, did we ever get into The Man in the High Castle? Did you ever get into that one?
Oh, I finished it.
You finished it. See, there's a lot of shows that I just kind of as soon as
Amazon
my
Prime,
daughter
yep.
was born, I'm not going to blame it on her, but just the
Come
the
on,
time,
Maddie.
The time
you are.
The time went away from me. I watched the first season of Sneaky Pete
Yes.
on Amazon Prime Video. I watched the first 2 seasons of Man in the High Castle. I've always wanted to jump into The Boys. Me and my wife have started. We're in season 2 of Ozark right now, and man, we just can't. Sometimes you just can't find the time to get into it. Mark, I know you're the resident non-subscriber. You're like the Teen Titans Go to the Movie guy. But, is there anything that you've seen on any of these platforms that you're like, you know what? I should one day just kind of sit down and watch this show. Because it does jump out at me. Because, remember, like I said earlier, there's a lot of these shows that come out and they're comic books, based on comic books.
But the thing is, a lot of them just don't catch my attention. As much as I wanted to watch Game of Thrones with you guys,
dude,
I'll
rewatch it with you, and we'll get let's watch half a season every week, and then we'll go ahead and
But
review
that's
it.
the thing. It's just not my flavor. It's just the whole dragons and all that.
Dungeons and Dragons.
And thank you, Shawnee P.
Oh my
It's just
God.
not my thing, though. I want to see some Narcos type, blow type shit.
Then watch
you know what
Narcos.
I mean?
I'll rewatch Narcos for you.
Hey,
But
Mayans.
Mayans.
Oh my! Shout out to
Mayans, baby, let's go.
March what?
13th or 16th.
19th. So
You know what? Middle of March, baby. Let's go.
So the Mayans, we did not think the Mayans were actually going to come back, but guys, the Mayans are coming back on FX. So if you guys have
All of our CW shows, we have Batwoman coming back. Black Lightning just
Everything.
premiered last week, and then in February or March we have The Flash and what's the other one that I'm missing? Supergirl comes
Supergirl,
back.
yes.
Or no, I'm sorry. Superman and Lois Lane starts in
new show, yes.
later this month too. So we have plenty of shows to get into. Fans, please shout us out here on YouTube live or on Instagram, and please shout us out. What do you guys like to watch? Please give us some recommendations because we're getting into some news on the entertainment side.
Well, I do got to say this real quick before we get into the news, which we love to always bring up. Mark, if there's one show you got to watch, and between the Ford and the Penske hat, it's The Crew. Starting in Netflix, courtesy of Kevin James, he is going to be.
That's right.
He is going to be the head crew chief of a NASCAR team. It's one of his typical sitcoms type shows, a lot of comedy in it. But the minute I seen the whole NASCAR aspect, and it's funny, he's actually done a whole bunch of NASCAR events with Adam Sandler. So you know what, man? It might be a show you're into. Probably something small, something easy to watch. It's on Netflix. Check it out, bro.
You know what? The one thing I didn't like about that when I watched the preview, when you told me to go on YouTube and watch it, is the driver. They make him look like a dumbass.
They
Don't do
definitely.
that. He's
A
dumb.
DA?
He's dumb as a bag of
But you know
hammers,
what?
bro.
They kind of. I think that's just the way the show is. I don't think it's the impression they're trying to give of NASCAR drivers.
I know exactly, but I didn't like how they wrote him like that.
Oh, he looked like a dumbass.
He could have been a competent guy like a William Byron or a younger guy like that. Come on, they don't mean to make him look like a freaking. I don't know. I don't know. Can't find the word.
Well, what you do know is that since you're so high on HBO Max 24/7, Mikey, because
they're coming up. Watch out.
AT&T owned. They're always competing with DIS. Right now, AT&T is paying that good 7% yield on that dividend.
Can't beat that, baby.
I suggest if you guys are looking for some good dividend payouts, because not only are we talking about comic books and markets, we talk about all different types of stuff here. So we try to get you guys money in different
In
types
our
of
future
ways.
with the stocks, baby. My boy TJ, I see you, boy. Stocks, baby.
So comic book stockies as well.
Stockies, bookies, whatever you want it to be.
Let's go. But nonetheless, Tom and Jerry being released, guys. This is a fan favorite for myself as a kid. I'll admit, I try to get my daughter into it. I've got her a couple little golden books on Tom and Jerry. She ain't really having it, but at the end of the day, I try to read them to her. And Tom and Jerry, the movie. I think this is the first Tom and Jerry movie we're having. It looks like it's kind of funny, so I'll be tuning in. Hey, I get HBO Max for free. Because I didn't even know, but being a damn DirecTV subscriber and getting HBO, hey.
If it's all about nostalgia, they're gonna keep it like a classically looking Tom and Jerry, short,
they should.
like a cartoon. Because I think it's one of those shows that what's a half an hour and it'll give like two shorts. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll give like like Looney Tunes was. There was like two little 10-15 minutes little shorts. So that's gonna be that's gonna be fun.
We actually have a question.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Let's see.
Shoot it.
About the Joss Whedon controversy.
Oh, I know. Dude, so Joss Whedon, right? So he's like, he's all Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's where I found out who Joss Whedon was watching the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show in the 90s and 2000s with my mom. And then he also directed the first Avengers movie, and he's the one who jumped in when Zack Snyder left Justice League.
Yes.
He, like the Joss
So he
Whedon
messed
that
the
was-
movie. So he messed the
the
movie
one
up.
that they talk crap about. He's the one who jumped in. Dude, there's been like 3 actresses jumping in there and saying that they were sexually abused by Joss Whedon. One of them being Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and her sister in the show, Michelle Trachtenberg from Nickelodeon, I believe. She was in one of those shows or whatever. And then like another actress, dude. He's done. I mean, come on, it's 2021. Let's talk about the cancel culture that we're going through right now.
Yeah,
big
time.
He is done.
Oh, he done.
He's done it at Disney.
Whether his reputation does, whether he did it or not,
He is-
reputation-wise, he's done.
His directing career is all but over, I think. So who knows who's going to hire him? But now, don't go ahead. No, don't take away his shows. Don't take away.
You can't.
You know what they say?
Yeah.
Don't tear down his statues. Don't take away Avengers. Don't take away Buffy or whatever. But in the future, he's done.
I think the big picture too is that he's done from that standpoint, especially cancel culture. But I think you also gotta just give you the due diligence of, due trial. At the end of the day, I mean, I have that big thing. It's just like at the end of the day, you have the evidence. It happened, then it happened straight up. It kind of sucks to a degree. So the flip side, say he didn't do anything wrong. Say they came together and decided. I'm against it, by the way. He probably did do it. Hey, this guy's a piece of shit. But if he didn't do it, you have to also kind of like just do your due diligence. Because it seems like it's true. Everyone's going to automatically think this guy's done. This guy's crap. This guy's this. Chances are he probably did do what he's doing. I just think at the end of the day, just do your due trial.
Same thing with, what's her name? Gina.
What's her name?
From Mandalorian.
Mandalorian girl.
Yeah, she got fired for some insensitive tweets about, comparing this administration
To the Holocaust.
to Nazi Germany and everything. So she's fired from Disney and Mandalorian. So
And
it's pretty
that's expected coming from Disney, right?
Thank you,
from
May.
anybody. You don't do that. You can't do that. There's certain things that you just don't touch. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk about Nazi Germany in an insensitive way. Whereas people who still were there, and people in this country, when we're a country all about honoring our veterans and people who fought in wars, who fought against the Nazis in World War II, and then
Storm the beaches.
You know what I'm saying? On June
Normandy,
6,
baby.
1943, in the beaches of Normandy, France. You don't do that shit. you don't talk about it and then compare it and then all of a sudden think that shit's sweet. You're gonna get fired, and that's what our ass did. You got to be smarter than that. You can talk about certain things like, this whole coronavirus thing. People call it, not a hoax or whatever, but of course, California's closed.
Just be
Florida's
smart
like,
about
but
it.
you know what?
You're making millions of dollars. Just shut up.
She's in one of the most popular shows in America right now. She can't do that.
I think it is the most popular show.
Well, man.
And as it should be, Baby Yoda, baby. Baby Yoda.
We're going to get into one of the most popular shows in America right now pretty soon.
If you guys would have asked me earlier what you guys did, what show would I watch? I mean, I think The Mandalorian would be right there.
As it should be.
From what I hear from you guys.
Amazing.
I'm not too much of a Star Wars dude. I mentioned how I did like when Abrams took over for Disney and Lucasfilms when they bought it up. I enjoyed that offering, that first offering that they had. And I think it would be kind of exciting, but to me it would either be that or WandaVision right now. That's what I would have to consume my time in.
Can't go wrong with either of those.
I got the 1 cent comment I got to bring up also real quick from Maylene, my mother-in-law. Hey guys, keep up the hard work. Definitely awesome.
Thank you, May.
Yeah, thank you so much, May. We see you, J-Lo.
May.
Say hi to JS. What's up, guys? But yes, Mandalorian, you definitely should check out, brother. 100%.
We're about 5 episodes in.
6 of WandaVision?
Well,
WandaVision.
I'd actually probably want to check out WandaVision more just because I think it's a little bit more in tune to the comic book side
MCU,
of what we
yeah.
do.
Okay.
MCU, thank you, Sean. Star Wars.
Can I suggest one thing before you get into it? Watch Avengers Age of Ultron,
100%.
Captain America Civil War,
100%.
Infinity War, and then Endgame. Watch
I've
those
seen
4.
Infinity War. I've seen Endgame.
Watch those 4 movies.
You'll thank us later.
And then jump into WandaVision.
If you want to watch a show that
just the relationship between her and her brother, and then the relationship between her and Vision, dude, makes all the, Vision getting created in Ultron, and then the relationship that they create in Infinity War and Endgame, and then just the, what happens. We all know what happens in Infinity War with the snap, with Vision dying. You're going to know what happens because Sean, as you know, there's certain aspects of what happened during when everyone comes back from the snap in the show.
it literally happens in the it's in show.
So please watch it's like 3 or 4 movies that I would suggest you watch before you jump into. And have you seen
time,
what?
right?
And there's two side characters that you wouldn't know who they are unless you watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, I did see that one.
The one with
good.
you know Jimmy Woo, the second one.
Oh,
I
he's
saw the first one.
So watch
the funny Asian guy.
if you want to know who Jimmy Woo is, it's the Ant-Man and the Wasp, and if you want to know who Darcy is, you want to watch the first 2 Thors.
And a quick shout out also to Danielle,
Doing great right now.
Mike's wife, who's
Okay.
actually been watching us live the whole podcast.
Yeah.
And she's obviously she does so much help for us also. She
our social
appreciates
media
so
manager.
much.
Yeah,
Our social media manager.
Social media
So
manager
from the
right
podcast Palooza days to where we're at now, what the future holds. So a quick shout out to her. And of course, all the wives and everyone again who is on, who has been on, and who will be on for a little bit longer. So again, thank you so much, guys. I'll be going back and forth, so don't be thinking I'm not paying attention.
The thing is that we're only getting started. This is the first time we've gone live. We know that there might be a little bit of echoes in our mics. We got these we got our mics, I guess, aren't dynamic. They're compressor type mics, so they might be picking up a little bit of echo. I know on IG we sound better because it's coming from a phone. We will iron out all this little BS for you guys. We will be getting better equipment.
Yeah.
We will be, trying to up our game for all the entertainment, fans alike. Guys, like we said, we talk about it all here. If you guys want to talk comics, you guys want to talk entertainment, you guys want to talk video games, you guys want to talk streaming. We pretty much break down whatever the hell is going on in pop culture, whatever's going down in sports, whatever. If you guys want to gamble, you guys want to talk about odds and lines and futures with us, we're here for it all. So we're kind of like a one-stop shop, and hopefully episode 100 is getting you guys to realize that. So invite your mama, invite your brothers, invite
And
your
your
sisters,
cousin.
and your obviously.
So speaking of mamas, my mom, Maureen, just
Mama Maureen.
commented on YouTube. Thanks, Mom, for the information.
Yes.
The Joss Whedon allegations came from Charisma Carpenter this week. She was Cordelia on Buffy. She was like the mean girl of the show, and then kind of joined the group and started dating Xander. You know, if you know about the Vampire Slayer, you know.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Maureen if she's still in the chat. Maureen, let us know, because Mike has always told me that his comic book fandom pretty much comes from his mother, right?
Bro, I will always remember the days I'd go to the Biela household. Love you
Yes.
guys, Ron, Marine, like my second parents. And Marine actually has all the Buffy comics.
Not to mention all the
the
I will
Disney
always
stuff
know
as
that.
well.
So the show ended after season 7, and then it continued into like season 8 in comic book form. So she picked it up from day 1 after that. She goes to Chris's Comics, the one down the street from Treasure Island. She gets her comic books from there. But yeah, she's been on it since day 1. Getting the Angel comics, the Faith
A1
comics. Those are
since
also
day
side
one,
characters
boy.
in Buffy Vampire Slayer.
How she got on Archie comics like I did the other week. Come on, baby. Archie, give it to me. I got an Archie comic, baby.
She's not even that old.
I got an Archie comic. I don't give a damn. I'm almost covered all the damn publishers in my short 2 years, baby.
No. So I'm excited for everything, you know. Although I can't watch everything, you know.
So when you get to it, right?
I'm excited for it all. For it all.
And I think it's something that I think everyone should kind of get into. I mean, who doesn't like TV to a degree? Like, watch a show. There's so many different shows. So even if you just pick one, watch it with your spouse or just something you're interested in, and it kind of just goes straight into the comics that we read. All these comic books that we read in some way, you know, shape or form, kind of goes hand in hand with all these different MCU, DC stuff. So no, the shows are awesome. I know I'm here, DC baby. Yes, Marine, we know DC. You actually have a DC baby right here, because at the end of the day, Mike's one of those guys that like, yeah, MCU, Batman. Yes, Mike, we know you like Batman.
Yeah, that's why they call it the Bat Cave, man. My garage is the Bat Cave. So,
But I'll be honest with you. Coming into this as a very novice reader and very novice, I guess, fan, you would say, I would say that I do enjoy kind of the darker side, if you will, of DC. I think that Marvel kind
It
of
balances each other out.
Huh?
It balances each other out, I
They
think.
balance each other out. I can see why Disney went ahead and purchased Marvel in a way, because I feel like Marvel is more of like, you got the Hulk. I just feel there's something when it comes to the Joker, when it comes to Harley Quinn, when you get to these Black Label books, obviously, that we love so much in our repertoire, right? I just feel that we get a little bit of a darker, more mature side of the comic books that I like to read. Now, if I was going to, you know, kind of offer comics and stories to a younger audience, maybe 15 under, maybe I would be offering the Captain Marvels and the Hulks and the Captain Americas. But being an older reader, a more mature reader, I think, in my opinion, I think DC is kind of where it's at. And I know I hate to sound somewhat of a DC homer, which a lot of the times we do here on the Comic Bookies podcast, but I'm going to blame that on my host right here.
You got to.
You know, but
Look at this, bro. You got, obviously, Punchline. You got the color scheme right here. You got all the Joker stuff. This is basically Mike's room, and Mark said, okay, I think I'm going to like him,
I don't
too.
live here, I swear.
But, no, you're right, bro. When you look at DC, it kind of has that darky, kind of just like the Batman, why so serious, you know, Joker type stuff. But when you watch, you know, your Captain Americas, your Marvels, you can see those jokes in between. You can kind of feel more like the lighter type of mood. So they'll borderline push a little bit of like
you can just
little
tell in
grimy.
production, right? You see in the
Of
movies,
course.
Warner Brothers, how they it's always on the darker side.
Go to the Warner Bros.
More
Studio
mature,
tour. You'll see.
more mature type, you know, and to me, in my opinion, that's what if I'm going to take my daughter, I'll go take her to see a Captain Marvel. Am I going to take her to see Birds of Prey and the Emancipation Proclamation? You know, yeah. I don't know if I can take her to go see Harley Quinn, right?
Yeah.
It's just you get a different demographic, but in a way,
Even
that's
like Watchmen too. You know, it's a DC book, and it's not even like Batman or Superman or whatever. I don't.
But that's why you get such a bigger following. Maybe that's why Disney can survive losing $30 million a year by not having these parks open, right, or whatnot, because they offer all these. You know, what do you go to Disneyland for? For yourself? No, you go for like your daughters. I mean,
you want to rethink twice on Mike for that one.
Before kids, of
but
course,
then
you go
again,
for
you're
yourself.
talking
You get
to a guy that didn't go to Disneyland for his first time until he was 23 years old. So,
True.
I mean,
I used to go every year. Yeah, I get that.
Shout out to my parents for not taking me to Disneyland.
Pay a college tuition
That means
these
they
days,
love
man.
you. But I mean, yeah, if I'm gonna take my kids now when Disneyland eventually opens, of course I'm gonna go for them. I only want to go for a churro and a Dole Whip.
But I love it now, bro.
Yeah,
But
of course.
And I go there with my wife. We've been there with my daughter 2 years in a row before the pandemic.
I'll never forget this guy,
And dude,
man.
I'm telling you, right? I tell my wife, I'm like, dude, this would be actually be kind of fun if it was just us. But then again, if I'm sitting back thinking of a vacation to go to with my wife, Disneyland's not going to be the first place I
Hawaii,
think of.
you want to go
Exactly.
I will say this though, get rid of that kind of part.
let's
Because
talk
if you actually
vacations, baby. Let's
had,
talk
get rid of the kind of part. Because if you and your wife,
Comic
of
book
course, you know, Patty decided to go to Disneyland, just you two. Oh, it wouldn't be kind of fun. No, you'd have a crap
fun.
load to downtown Disney, to eating all that great food from the churros,
kids get-
to having
the
that
kids get
Dole Whip.
worn
Oh
out.
man.
If you think we get worn out, because the first time I went to Disneyland, I thought I was going to be cool, guys. Hey, you guys listen to me. Comic bookie fans, if you think you're cool because you went out and got your Carmine 6s today with the Nike Air on the back, they just got dropped this morning. If you think you're cool and you're going to go wear them to
Gigs.
Disneyland all day, you are mistakenly wrong. Because Jordans are not the ones. You cannot wear Jordans all day down there in Anaheim.
They crease,
will
baby.
kill your feet. You're going to be walking like a penguin because, like what Sean just said, you're not going to be trying to crease them.
Walking like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, you're going to be Danny DeVito. We always talk about how scary that dude was when we was a little kid,
91,
right?
92?
91, 92, Danny DeVito.
In the Yellow Duck.
At the end of the day, the moral of the story, guys, we're the most comfortable shoes you got down to Anaheim to go to
Which is what
Disneyland.
nowadays? What, Crocs?
Wear them Crocs, baby. Don't wear Vans and don't wear J's. Wear Crocs.
You can't go. How the hell those come back? By the way, they were popular like 10 years ago, and then everyone was talking crap about them, and then they
It's
went
a
away.
cancel culture, bro. They wear it. They put their little pins on it.
Yeah, I heard that just on Friday. Yesterday,
I thought
at
it was
work,
pretty
I was
cool,
like, what the hell
though.
is that?
That's the first thing I thought about. I was like,
You only get
which-
Crocs talks here.
you know what? Which
Yeah,
pin
but-
would I want to get on my
What, you
Crocs?
put Disney pins on them or whatever. You put like Batman.
You know
and
damn well
Superman.
you'd put Batman, you'd put Joker, you'd put hella Disney.
Because think about them.
I'm not wearing Crocs.
This is
Sorry,
why
I'm 34
Crocs-
years old
look.
in May. I'm not wearing Crocs.
You ain't gonna go on the backyard barbecue?
You
Just
slip
chilling?
on. You slip on. You got
my slip-ons.
You slip them on and off. You can wear them convertible or tie them in the back. They got air. They can breathe, so your feet don't sweat.
You ain't got no sweaty toes. You ain't got
they're
no-
rubber, so they're waterproof, dirt-proof. You just wash them off.
And let's talk to the fans. Who wears Crocs?
See,
Throw a thumbs up if you wear Crocs.
Go check their stock on the last 5 years.
Hey, you wear Crocs, give me the thumbs up right now. And then you want to put the color, you go ahead and put the color
Because-
too. And if you want to add the pin for the cherry on top, which pins do you like?
Guys, including me.
I'm only gonna wear Crocs if we get a sponsorship from Crocs.
Let's get Crocs, baby.
Wait, Crocs with
I'm not that cool, I guess.
Hey, but I'll be that cool because I'll wear the Crocs with the Lacoste shirt.
Well, that didn't take long because, you know, one of our listeners, of course, we got, you know, my little bro
Crocs
Aaron right
with
here,
the-
light skin. Crocs are the one. They are thumbs up, and it is the wave right now for the young
Yeah, 'cause
generation.
you look really cool wearing Crocs.
Hey, you know what, bro? We're saying it now, but what? Hey, what were we wearing? Jabos? We didn't wear an Air Force One. Put your pants on the ground. Pants on the ground. What were we doing? White tees?
You got dudes doing. You got
I
dudes.
roll up my damn socks and put them in my K-Swiss. Come on, bro.
You stuffing your shoes with? Hell yeah!
The case Swisses were the one.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
behind the tongue.
You put little
Yeah.
knots on each shoelace
Come
and
on.
stuff. See, come on
But
now.
nonetheless,
Iverson, the questions. Come on, bro.
Nonetheless, if you guys do follow me at Harleen _HD, you guys will see that my Instagram actually, I do follow a lot of guys that are in the Harley Davidson scene. And it's kind of the thing right now. Dudes are doing wheelies and all types of shit on damn Crocs. I mean, they're riding Harleys with like overalls and Crocs and pulling wheelies. It's just, Crocs are in, man. I mean, that's what it is.
It is the wave right now, yeah.
But they're indestructible, and my kid had them. I'm sure Maddie had them.
Hey, Mike, or Mark, can you actually check real quick what are the odds of Mike getting Crocs? Minus a million?
So if I was to set
My daughter can have them. My son can have them when he's able to wear like shoes. But I'm not.
What are you going to do when mommy and
Are they
you know, your son and daughter say, Daddy,
is it
can
because
you wear
of the
Crocs
way
with
that
me?
they come out at the top and they kind of like fling up like a ski? But dude, I'm telling you, Crocs.
They look like I'm coming out of an asylum. If you wear the white ones,
All you're missing is the white bunny suit, right?
come on. With the ass hanging out, just like the tied in the back. No, I'm coming out with a freaking...
Looking like you're out of Arkham Asylum.
well,
But
straight
this
jacket,
is what you
exactly.
gotta think about. You're laughing now. Sean's not laughing. You're laughing. But look, what did Crocs do? They went out. They did a collaboration with Post Malone. What else did they do? They went out. They did a collaboration
that's
with
what young people
Justin
like.
Bieber.
I
right?
just hear we can't. It's one of those we can't knock it until we try it. Because I hear like straight up, they're like the most comfortable
I did
things
try it
to wear.
because I wear the slides, the Nike slides, right?
Yeah.
You guys are used to them. Everyone wears those Nike slides.
Oh, I
or
hear they
Under
shit on
Armour
Nike
ones.
slides.
They
I hear
shit
they're
on
that
them.
comfortable,
They
bro.
shit on them. My coworker got them ordered. They came into the office and he got them in the box. You saw? I was like, you got Crocs? You're like 50 years old. What are you doing with Crocs? He was like, try them on. I tried them on because we have the same shoe size, 12. I tried them on even before he ever did.
How much are they?
Oh, bro,
$50.
$50, no
Like
more,
a
no
pair of-
more than
like a
50
pair of
bucks.
Vans?
No
Waterproof,
more.
dirt-proof, whatever. You get dirty, you just spray them off and let them dry, baby.
So my coworker came into work with Crocs on though. He's a new kid. He's like 19, 20, and I was like, I told him, honestly, you can't wear them because we handle parts that are like 40, 50 pounds. It can't be liable for you to drop something on your foot or whatever. Because that's not a steel toe boot. I don't wear steel toe boots, but at least I wear something that covers all of my foot.
Yeah.
So something like that, you can't wear that. But no, I just don't see myself buying a pair. Like I'm fine with my house shoes, my comfortable ones I get from Costco. The wool ones. I don't go out. I don't know.
The great thing is what the comic books are doing, and it's exactly what you guys are saying. We go from sports to comics to entertainment, and we're talking about the love that Mike has for Crocs right now.
No.
Shout out Josie downstairs, my wife's sister with the tie-dyes.
And we got the tie-dye Crocs, so come on now, guys.
are in,
I wish I could
man.
stare at that screen with you.
Hey,
guys.
we're
No way.
getting the line of the night. You will never look back, like you'll never walk alone, Mark or Mike.
YNWA, man.
Come on now, you
happen,
never
sorry.
know,
It
man.
won't happen. Sorry.
But they even got Crocs for nurses, man. They got the.
Oh,
Well, I've seen those a lot. I've
That's
seen
what
a lot
I'm
of those.
saying.
I've
So,
seen,
dude,
I've seen
so
more
they're-
people, more nurses wear them than
So
anybody
they're
else.
not. They're like they're not just a sandal. They're kind of becoming like a lifestyle type of brand. So
When I go to Sonoma State and go to nursing school and become a nurse, I might consider wearing them, especially
and
when the
now-
hospital
and now
buys them
that
for
we've
me.
spent about damn near half the podcast on Crocs. Let's
Okay, so we'll go ahead and go to WandaVision. Okay, Sean. So episode
got
so
to.
everyone. So this is Saturday the 13th. Yesterday, episode 6 just came out. So sorry to
You've
anyone.
been warned.
Spoilers, please. Spoilers for episode 6. So episode 5 and 6, pretty crazy. Sean, episode 6 was not as climactic and like intense as episode 5, because episode 5 you almost saw Vision and wanted to go at it. You saw the end cameo from one Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, not Pietro, who we saw die in Age of Ultron. So it's pretty crazy as to what happens. My thing that I took out of it was Agnes. She was acting pretty weird at the edge of the city on Edwin or whatever it was, that street that she told the kids
Everyone's just-
don't cross Edwin. And her brother's asking a lot of questions. Too many questions for my liking, because everything, like me and my wife always do this. We'll watch a scene and I tell her, like, dude, pause. Let's talk about this. What'd you just see? What'd you just hear? She said this. I have never watched, I have never
Hey, is that Blue Label talking?
I have never watched a show that gets me to ask
And I
questions
never
more
will.
than WandaVision. What do you think?
Completely agree, bro. Mark.
Mark.
No, you know what? You want to watch? No, you know what? WandaVision is a show that I catch myself doing the same thing, where every scene I'm like, I gotta analyze it a little bit. I gotta analyze. So where does that have to do with the previous Marvel movies, and like what's that have to do with what's going on right now? So obviously Agnes is that witch is coming out. That laugh. That please help me.
Yeah.
And obviously we know the brother, he's asking so many questions that there's is he who he really is he an imposter, is there some going, who is he working for? Like, he isn't the brother that died. That's easy.
Well, obviously, since Wanda took care of him when she was he was talking some crap about his husband, about her
Basically.
husband.
And then she blasted that boy long gone during the little Halloween.
So now we have at least Darcy is now involved in the world. You saw all of those buildings that they had turn into like carnival rides. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she expanded her Westview.
Well, look at the kids, how the kids are involved. Like, Vision was actually trying to get out, and then the son had that, like, You see each kid's kind of connected in some way to one of the parents.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Easily.
For sure, like
and-
he sensed him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he was hearing them,
now,
yeah.
I'm assuming that's who they were in the comic books. I haven't read like the WandaVision comic from like the 70s or 80s, or the Vision book that they keep referencing, Tom King's recent one from Marvel. I haven't gotten into any of those, so I could just base it off of what I read off the internet. But it's pretty crazy on how they do that. And then what about all the other people of the city? The kids, they're just frozen.
They're
They
like
don't talk-
props, it
so
seems like
they're
at this
they're-
time. They're props,
right?
man. Because we need them to freeze when Wanda's in her own head, expanding her world. She freezes everybody, basically. She's controlling everything.
Yeah.
These are like little puppets to kind of just like fill the void. Kids going on
Exactly.
Halloween. We're not actually going to get candy during the day. She's just like little puppets on everybody, controlling everything. So, no, she's expanding her world. Vision, we need help. So obviously he knows that there's something going on with Wanda. He's trying to get out, but there's that force is bringing him back in.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Actually, the beginning scene of that TV show was cool. It looked like Malcolm in the Middle, like the rock.
So
song
that's the
going
show.
on.
I'm always trying to look at which show is
It
it.
felt like Malcolm in the Middle with Frankie Muniz,
Yeah.
and Bryan Cranston as the dad. But what's going to happen next week in episode 7 when now Vision is like fully aware of what happened?
We need the confrontation.
I almost died. She told me, "Oh, but you're dead." Agnes was like, "But you're dead." So he knows that he's actually
You're
dead,
an Avenger,
and
you're
Wanda
dead.
is playing house with his freaking corpse. What's going to happen?
Well, the only thing is she kind of comes down to reality is when he touches Agnes in the head. But no, she. Nice guys. But no, she knows obviously that there's something going on. She knows that Vision really is dead. So it's like, is the Vision actually in her reality alive? Or is he kind of like a prop, kind of like trying to fill the space right now? Like, a lot of
Yeah.
questions, bro. But I think a confrontation needs to finally happen.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the showdown, basically.
Yeah. So everything that she thought that she was going to do without any trouble at all is now going to be brought to an end. And the last 3 episodes, 7, 8, 9, who the hell knows, man? I mean, comic bookie fans, please ask your questions. Tell us that you watch the shows.
Hello, Delfino.
Pheno time.
Pheno time.
He has no questions. He just says what's up.
No, he just joined us currently.
No question. He probably doesn't watch
Well, that's a
WandaVision.
question, Fino.
He doesn't watch WandaVision then.
How about WandaVision here, guys? 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
As it should be.
You got okay. I was just gonna ask you guys if you guys agree with that. 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 4.1 rating on Google, as we see here. Out of almost 15,000 ratings, you're getting almost 5 stars. I mean, you're a little bit.
I tell people that get through the first 2
why?
episodes because you'll be.
What
I think the first couple episodes of what Mike's probably going to say right now is they plant the seed, and from there it just keeps going up.
It's kind of confusing in the first 2 episodes. You're like, this is what I get for like almost a year after like the first MCU thing that I get. You know, that's after what Far From Home, Spider-Man.
Far From Home, yes.
So. And this is what I get. Like, I'm so confused right now. But episodes 3, 4, and 5, it answers everything. Everything comes full circle. Jimmy Woo comes over from the Ant-Man and the Wasp. You have Darcy coming over from Thor. You have like, oh, she's familiar. He's familiar, and everything that you see and hear,
They build off each other.
in the black and white, comes like together. It's like, oh, that's Jimmy talking to Wanda in the radio. That's the beekeeper that Wanda sees and says, no, that was a guy who was in like a bunny suit, and he's crawling through the sewage system because they think that the force field thing only goes down to the ground. It doesn't go past it, and
all the
they
way.
do. So like first and second episode, you're like, what the hell is happening here? Like, what's going on? And then 3, 4, 5, and 6 explains everything. It's crazy.
I think it's just the strategy behind it. It's not just like every episode just a continuation, which obviously it is, but they just build off of each other. They keep you more and more interested. They keep incorporating different things from the past shows and movies, and I think they're just really, really strategic to kind of keep you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, like the first 2 episodes were confusing to us because I think the majority of those episodes were like within that show. From the 50s and 60s.
It was
And then
established what that
once
was.
the episode happened where she was pregnant and then gave birth.
What
all
the
at the
show
same
is
time,
really about.
It finally took you outside of Westview, and then the episode 4 or 5 or whatever was then more and more.
It was 4 probably, yeah.
Back and forth. You know, when we got the history of.
Well, they're watching the sitcom.
of Geraldine. You know. So yeah, it's a good show, bro.
Yes, Mark. There's a second of like.
I'm just trying to figure out like WandaVision. It ain't Spider-Man. You're not talking about Iron Man. You're not talking about any of these big.
You're
names.
talking about probably the strongest Avenger, though. I tell you what, you're probably talking about the
Scarlet Witch.
How is Disney, in my opinion, doing such a good job, in your guys' opinion, at selling WandaVision to the general Disney Plus subscriber, if you will?
Okay, so the general Disney Plus subscriber has probably seen most or all of the MCU movies.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. They're all right there,
Okay.
bro.
All of them?
100%.
You're over 20 plus.
100%.
Like
100%. 100%.
What has been more
100%.
popular in Disney IP than Marvel the last 5 years?
Oh, bro.
A couple of Disney movies.
Because if you
maybe
watch
the Star Wars
one, you're gonna
movies.
want to watch all the other ones.
Because people,
It's
because people
slow.
hate on those Star Wars movies 7, 8, and 9 more than anything, and Solo. They say that Rogue One is like the only decent movie that they've seen in this
The newer
new
ones.
era. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about MCU movies, you want to talk about Infinity War, which is better than Endgame, I think. And then Endgame, they want to talk about that. So when these fan theories come out, because you have to watch an episode and you have to go online and talk about it. So these fan theories of it leading into Doctor Strange 2, the multiverse of madness.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it opens up to, and now they own all the IP from Fox. So they have X-Men.
X-Men.
They have Fantastic Four. And they have all these things that can open up into Phase
Blade.
4. And when they had that meeting, when Shang-Chi's now coming out, Blade, Thor's getting a new, the God of Thunder, which now, what's her name's going to be? Natalie Portman's going to be Thor. She's going to take over the mantle of Thor in this movie. So it's like they give us so much to look forward to, and then the first thing they give you from outside the pandemic is this. No wonder it's getting so much hits.
And you still got Falcon and Winter Soldier coming out. You
Next
still got
month?
you got a Loki show, and they're already working on the second
Season
season. Like, there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing, and it's not just like kind of just taking advantage of the moment.
Kevin Feige,
No,
dude.
Kevin Feige has dragged this Marvel's. This Marvel situation basically,
Dude, he
and just
is
turned it into what it is. Like, bro,
amazing.
when these Iron Man movie were coming out, no one expected shows. But the What If series, all these things we aren't even like really
dude,
even
What Ifs.
remembering that are coming out. So I mean,
Eternals are coming out.
Eternals. So it's just like they're just taking it and running. It's at the point where it's not comparing. It's just like we want content, and that's what this is.
And it's crazy too because everyone says at WandaVision, stay tuned for Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange 2 is not coming out until at least next year.
That's at least
and you have like
next year.
7 things coming out in between.
Spider-Man, Black Panther 2. We have all these. Oh, bro, so much, man. It's not even a joke.
It's crazy.
Black Widow.
That's
Which
what-
they're still
that's-
trying to be in
I-
theaters still.
I saw an article.
They're still going to be in
trying to
theaters too,
yeah.
as of now. So I mean, bro, and this is what the comic bookies does, guys. By the way, so you guys
That's right.
keep remembering,
Thank
this is
you,
what
guys.
we do,
So if you
baby.
tuned in like an hour ago, we were talking like NASCAR, and then now we're talking
These
about
guys are great.
And do
man.
not forget about the Crocs. We had the Crocs
These
section.
guys are great when it comes to the streaming, man. Make sure you guys check them out.
Yes,
Shout
R.I.P.
out to
Chadwick. You're right, boy. Yes, sir.
Jose. Shout out Prop 13 Prospect, 100 episodes. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for tuning in. But yeah, I mean that's all I got. So I mean, as far as streaming is concerned, that's I'm looking forward to the Snyder Cut next month. Falcon Winter Soldier, more WandaVision, there's just tons of stuff for us to watch, especially for those who still have jobs from home. There's just plenty of to do to sit in your ass and watch.
And I
you know?
think on top of the shows, I think the bigger thing I'm looking forward to is the next 500, the next 1,000 episodes, guys. Because I got to be the first to say, doing 100 live, we had our not questions on how it was going to be, but we had the nerves. Make sure the wiring was set up right, the lights were set up right, the social medias were set up right. And this is just a freaking blast, guys.
I've had fun so far. I mean, I hope that everything looks okay on YouTube, on Instagram. Hope you can hear us. I mean, I'm sure there's maybe some echoing and stuff. This is our first time, so hopefully we'll iron the wrinkles out, and then episode 101 and beyond will be on YouTube again. Follow us on Twitch as well. We'll be on there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future for the Comic Bookies podcast.
And I think as much as we're going to keep doing what we're doing, guys, which you guys won't get anything less than 100% effort to a degree, we will always continue to hope you guys can help us with just, sharing our stuff, keep reposting our stuff, and really just kind of doing a little bit of our networking to a degree. Again, the whole interaction we've had so far, that's what it's about right there. You know, we love to hear you guys' questions and interact. 'Cause at the end of the day, we're just, again, average guys who just like to have a good time talking sports and comics. Like I'm sure all you guys like to do. So, yeah, man, just definitely keep tuning in. And this will not be our last time being live. It's actually going to be more and more often. You guys will see.
At the end of the day, when I started this podcast with these two brothers over here sitting on the right-hand side of me, the one thing that I would always hear is people tell me, "Oh, you're gonna start a podcast? You mean like Joe Rogan? Like Joe? No, not like Joe Rogan, man.
Like the comic bookies.
Like the comic bookies. Thank you, Sean. Yes, of course. One day we would obviously like to be getting paid $100 million contract from Spotify to have our podcast ran exclusively through their platform. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, we're just regular guys. We started this because we got a guy here that was into entertainment and sports. We got a guy here that's into gambling and sports. We got a guy here that's into everything streaming along with his brother, Mike, and we just kind of colluded together, put our minds together and see how can we deliver something to everybody alike that might be into the same thing that we are. We know that everyone's into sports. We know that everyone's into entertainment, whether or not it's into streaming, movies, books, reading, or whatnot. But we're trying to put this together for you guys, the fans. And as we grow, there's nothing more that I'm more proud of than to be able to share this 100th episode with you guys, share this 100th episode with my brothers over here on the right, like I said before, and just be able to get feedback, such as my brother Joe that tuned in on YouTube, such as as Danielle, our social media manager that's been doing a great job for us as well. We couldn't do it. It takes a team. It takes a village to build this, guys. I know podcasts that I've been listening to, they've been around since like 2011, 2012. They barely getting noticed. And I know sometimes we might be down on ourselves because we don't have as many countries, as many followers, as many subscribers as we wish we would have by now. But it's a growing process, man. I just hope that within the next 5, 6, 7 years that we have another 600, 700 episodes. And at the end of the day, that more people keep tuning into us, more people start seeing what we're about, not just talking about books or just talking about football or EPL, but we're here to talk about what you guys want. We are here for the fans. We are here for you guys. Drop us a line, as we always say, at the Comic Bookies on all social media and at gmail.com, man. I am so proud, guys, to be able to share this night with you, this special Saturday, February 13th, 2021, as we celebrate our 100th episode, guys. Thank you, man.
And just real quick, obviously alluding to what Mark said, this is something that we're happy for. It is an accomplishment. We can reflect in 10 seconds about our 99 episodes before. We loved it, and it's just kept building us up into what we're doing tonight. Something live. There ain't nothing really prepped other than what we're going to, the topics we're going to talk about, but it's kind of just what we normally do if the camera was off, just a couple guys, again, just having fun. And obviously, just thank you for the support. Obviously, the people who do help us directly, between the wives, our family, our friends, and again, the listeners, kind of what makes it worth it. As much as the quantity matters, we damn, we had that many. We're just happy for the people that do take the time to listen to us. It's something that we definitely, are happy for. And the people who have engaged with us, continuously all night, thank you so, so damn much. And definitely just check out our social medias like we always do, From tonight going forward, we have our Instagram, we have our Facebook, we have a Twitch page, which we will start going live on. So you definitely check us out on that. YouTube, we have our own page. Definitely subscribe, click the bell, get all of our updates. And yeah, man, the Comic Bookies podcast is free. I don't know why you guys wouldn't want to tune in with us and kick it with us every week. It's a weekly thing. And yeah, man, this is what it's about. Mike, Mark, myself, Sean, it's what it's about, guys.
And we don't miss many weeks, guys. That's the important thing. Like I said,
it's 100 episodes.
A lot of podcasts do not last, guys. And let me tell you this. This is it seems like it's a little bit easy because we just talk and call each other up on Skype in different cities. To do what we're doing tonight, it's not as easy as it seems like, as we got to obviously iron out a lot of things. But we got to give a shout out to our host here, Mike, that does grinding all night, trying to edit this thing, get it out to you guys. So at the end of the day, signing up, trying to get these podcast paloozas rolling, trying to get these Comic Cons signed up for, trying to get our name out there for.
They ain't seen nothing yet, boy.
They ain't seen nothing
yet.
It's not as easy as it seems. It does take a little work and dedication, and especially when you got kids, a wife, and a family, and not getting paid for it. We just keep trying to deliver for the fans and for everybody that is in tune with us, because nonetheless, we're just gonna keep growing this thing, and I hope that you guys are along for the ride to experience with us, man. Episode 100. Love you guys.
Well, how the hell do I follow that up? You know what I'm saying? Those are
You
some
just
two good ending.
hit that classic copy and paste with a period.
I know, right? So episode 100. I mean, thanks, guys. I mean, it's been real.
Almost 3 hours.
I did expect us to get to this point, but like just the road that we've been on, I really appreciate just what we've accomplished, especially through a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had some really down numbers, and then December and January going into February are some of our greatest numbers ever as far as downloads are concerned. So again, please go follow us on our social media. Thank you so much to all of our fans in the United States, local and worldwide, including Denmark and Morocco, who just recently downloaded us.
South America.
Thank you so much to our families, to our wives, and to our kids for allowing us to get together every week for about 3 hours to record an hour and 40-minute podcast. But this is the Comic Bookies podcast. Please subscribe. Please follow us. Just, dude, come join us every week to collide the worlds in sports and comics. For Mark and for Sean, this is Mike. This has been the Comic Bookies podcast. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace out.
Peace.
And always enjoy each other. And don't forget, if you got little ones with you, this is the Comic Bookies podcast. And we might even expand into Comic Bookies for kids. So stay tuned one day, baby.
Thank you so much for your love and support. Peace out. We love you guys. Bye.